Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On
guys are hot.
Sports 910.
DeAndre Ayton returned to the lineup, but it wasn't enough as the Suns lost to the Mavs last night by 4. The Cardinals are down to, at least according to reports, just a couple head coaching candidates. Not sure if that's accurate. And ASU's losing streak is up to a season-high 3. Welcome in, Roc, Manuch, Jax out here at Wright Toyota. We got Ben back at the iHeartRadio studios. We got a full lineup today here on the program. Yeah,
full boat today.
Sean Salisbury scheduled to join us here in about a half hour. We're going to catch up with the play-by-play voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mitch Holthus. He will join us, someone who called Manuch's games at Kansas State
back in the day.
Manuch's clipboard report. He'll break down the games on Sunday. We're also, as always, we'll have Scott Spreitzer. He will join us from Doc Sports to handicap those games, and Kevin Rowe. So we got a full lineup today on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Football Friday, here we go. Conference championships extraordinaire.
Only 2 more Football Fridays.
Oh, I know, man.
You know, this one and then the week before the Super Bowl.
But we can keep the Football Fridays going, right, Jax? We can keep those bad boys going through we're talking about spring football
the
practices.
XFL, the USFL.
Yeah, spring football coming up. Arena, indoor league. What wouldn't be a Friday with some kind of football flavor involved with all that? I think that those are some of the biggest things I think about in reference to all that. So with some of those stories, again, let's get to the top stories that have been going on this last couple days.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, we'll get into it in more depth as we move forward into this hour, but we'll mention quickly DeAndre Ayton's return. 19 points, 20 rebounds. Struggled. He was real rusty in this game, in his first game back after returning from a non-COVID illness. It's funny how they need to say that now. If you're out because you're sick, you have to say non-COVID or COVID-related.
Why can't they just say the flu bug, stomach flu?
They can.
And then we know if it's, COVID's one thing. Flu bug, stomach bug, all the above are 2 different things. I guess because with the COVID scenario as far as, quarantining somebody for 5 days or making sure that they're out of harm's way with all the other players is to make sure that if you were in contact, Roc, with DeAndre Ayton over the last few days, whatever, the illness he has is non-contact. Nothing to see here if you were part of that whole thing.
Go ahead, Manuch. I'm sorry, my computer's frozen.
That's all right. We'll get you.
You guys got to finish this.
Me and Jackson take care of that. So I think that those are some of the things that when you look at everything going on with the Phoenix Suns, and quite frankly, and we'll dive into this in the next segment, but I think the 20 rebounds, but Luka goes out after the first 3 minutes, and you can't close the deal.
I mean, you have an opportunity to take down the Mavs and you blow it. So anyway,
I think the other thing too is before we move on with that, Roc, I think is looking at some of the other things that this bench, only 11 points out of the bench, is another area which I think that the Suns, I'm sure we'll talk about in reference to that. Cardinals are down to a couple of candidates, as we know Frank Reich was hired yesterday, and Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn is still going to remain as the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. And Reich, I think it's a good hire for the Carolina Panthers to hire him. Dan Quinn, maybe as he came back, Jerry Jones might have got in his ear and said, look, we want you here. I don't know if they up the ante or not. If there is any kind of a pay increase, that has to be reported. So maybe Dan Quinn walked away. It could be that two-way street, guys. It could be Dan Quinn going, you know what? Just wasn't my fit. Thank you, Michael, for the 2 interviews. I just can't see myself here at the Arizona Cardinals at this time. And if he feels the Dallas Cowboys are on the precipice, next year winning it all, that could have weighed into his thinking as well.
Yeah, he's got some unfinished business there with the Cowboys. I thought it was interesting with the opportunity here with Arizona, him wanting to stay there. But again, probably under the table, another $1 million, $500,000, or $100,000 pay raise. Jerry Jones saw what Dan Quinn did with that defense last year. But I was going to flip it back to you, Manuch. It's interesting to me. They talked about it this morning when I was watching the morning shows, talking about how the Panthers signed Frank Wright, how he was so wanted by multiple organizations.
Right.
Was it because he's an offensive minded? Maybe he's someone that's been there before. He's done it, even though he got fired in Week 10. But what about Frank Wright do you think intrigued Arizona and other teams about him?
Well, I think more than anything, guys, I think that you look at him as a player, understanding what it takes to get there, and as with Buffalo for those times, as an offensive coordinator, being part of Peterson's staff, and having both his quarterback Carson Wentz and Nick Foles as a guy that they took him to the Super Bowl and won. Because I really think as a coach or player, you get there as a player, you lose. Okay, it happens. You got there, you may not ever get there again. But as a head coach or coordinator, you're part of a winning situation as far as the Super Bowl. So I think of what he did in Indianapolis, yeah, they really struggled. Matt Ryan struggled. I think if you look at the good, the bad, I think that's why Frank Wright, and I like Frank Wright interviewing here. I really did. But when it came down to it, Carolina said he's our guy, and they jumped on it, and he didn't get that second interview.
I mean, he had like 5 or 6 quarterbacks in his tenure, or whatever you call it, in tenure. That's the word. In Indianapolis Colts, which I think the Colts need to just stick to one quarterback. Maybe that's why he decided to go to Carolina. Is maybe we can draft a quarterback and stick with one that he can develop instead of getting a new quarterback every year.
With him going to Carolina and the fact that they passed on the interim coach, Steve Wilks, could play into Brian Flores getting hired or not hired for the Arizona Cardinals. Chris, yesterday we talked about it briefly. The lawyer, Doug Wigdor, who came out and said, basically warned the Cardinals and warned the ownership that they need to hire Brian Flores because this
pending
lawsuit is a problem. I mean, this is, Wilkes sued the Cardinals for firing him after 1 year last year. Wilkes is probably going to sue the Panthers now too. And Flores, who joined the Texans to litigation last year, of course, is interviewing for the job. And you can make an argument that Flores is experienced enough to take this job, should get hired for the job. And if he doesn't, well, this guy's going to create a nightmare.
Yeah. It sounds like I don't know if the commissioner can actually. I could call that collusion if he calls the Cardinals, or if anybody says, "Hey, look, you need to hire him because of the suit." That won't happen.
Okay, but you can make an argument that the fact that they did hire him or did interview him makes it hard not to hire him.
Well, sure,
especially if these other guys they're interviewing, other than Peyton,
right,
doesn't have the same experience that Brian Flores has.
And he was
that's where I think it's going to be a problem.
Now that Frank Reich has moved on, Sean Payton, my 1A and 1B would be the one, the only Brian Flores. And so
he can help the NFL out. Cards can.
Well, he could, but
Cardinals could help the NFL
and the
out
Dolphins too. Yeah,
and the Dolphins if they do hire him.
He did, and I think that if the whole Payton thing goes away, he decides, hey, look, I'm not going to coach at all this year, or thanks for the interviews, I'm going to move on. I'm fine with Brian Flores being the head coach.
I'm good with that too, but I want him to get hired for being a good football coach.
The right reasons, yeah.
Not because of this.
Yeah. And
Texas didn't even interview him, even though he was a finalist for the job last year.
Well, Rock, we just never know what the politics are behind the closed doors, right? I would hope, to your point, that they would hire whomever for all the right reasons, and be that as it may, that lawsuit's going to continue no matter what, whether they hire him or not. And, if all of a sudden they're going to go back door and your D'Amico Ryans is also another individual that's still out there, but he's going to wait until after the San Francisco 49ers beat the Eagles and go on and win the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think that they'll kind of wait for that. But I think the Rooney Rule, you could see it's much more ingrained with all of these interviews, with all the minority candidates, and rightfully so, good, qualified candidates. I don't look at them as minority candidates.
Yeah,
they're good candidates. They're good no matter how you look at it.
Aren't we beyond that? I mean, I don't. You and I have been doing this a long time. Who cares what color somebody is? Why is this? It continues to be a subject matter every single year.
Well, if you talk to the minority candidates, or minority, a lot of the black assistant coach would have, they see that the owners seem to always lean toward the white coaches, whether you call them racist or not. I'm not saying that, but the Rooney Rule is in effect to make sure that you get those interviews.
I just don't see why this is a
I
problem.
agree, Rock.
You hire the best candidate, period.
I agree.
And we're all beyond that. I thought that was something that everybody had. It was so sensitive about 5, 6, 7 years ago. I thought by them changing the rules of the Rooney Rule that this would kind of go away and that we wouldn't have to bring this up. But that seems to be the case, that now these owners are kind of handcuffed because they may have to interview somebody for the sake of just interviewing.
Well, and I think,
and then secondly, maybe hire somebody who they may not think is the right candidate, but they're getting the pressure.
So you feel that there might be a hit that they hire somebody just to take that pressure off.
Yeah.
And so they're not such a black eye on the NFL. There's already a black eye in the NFL when it comes to Rooney Rule. We look at a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but
so I'm
it's
like you, right?
better, I thought. I mean,
I have too. I'm like you. Then there's a lot of great minority candidates that are D'Amico Ryans. You think of Aaron Glenn.
Well,
you look at Brian
D'Amico
Flores.
Ryans, I think, is going to get the Houston job. He played there.
And he may. Exactly. He may. Hell, you looked at Leslie Frazier, played with the Bears, and then the defensive coordinator.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
there's enough in that pool.
I guess. I mean, here's the thing. I've always asked this question. Is there a number of particular coaches that have to be black for the Rooney Rule to go away?
I don't know if there's like you're asking, is there a percentage of interviews that they have
a
to
number.
have
There's 32 head coaches. Does it will people that are really pushing this this narrative? Is there if there's half?
There's 32.
Or there's half. 16, 17. Is there, or does it need to be 20? I mean, where does it get? When will it ever be enough? Is I guess.
I don't think that's the intention. I think
I hope it's not.
The intention is to, with the candidates that are out there, let's not negate the minority candidates out there to make sure at least you interview, I don't know if it's 1, 3, 5, whatever, to make sure that we're adhering to making sure that every candidate that is qualified out there, and especially the minority candidates, to make sure they get a fair shot. And I think sometimes for a lot of the owners out there that, let's face it, Rock, are whether they're racist or not, don't want to hire a black coach or anything like that. And if they're out there, it's a shame, but that's what it's to protect and have the general managers of those owners take a look at those individuals. And maybe their minds change. That's the only thing I can think of. I
would just like to know: is there a number or a percentage?
Is there a quota? Let's say it.
I mean,
is there a quota?
Is there? I mean, if we, talk to the head folks, NFLPA, is there a number that would look how far we've come. It's positive. It's going in the right direction to where everybody's excited, and it's not a big issue. And we can stop talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know if that.
I don't know what the number is. And maybe we need to talk to somebody, someone who is black. And hey, is there a number? Yeah,
is there?
Because at the end of the day, really shouldn't be a number.
Yeah, there's not a number for the actual hire.
We're even talking about. It sucks.
Yeah, or is there a number for interviews? I think there's two different things there, because those
interviews are basically. Come on, damn well.
There's token interviews.
Exactly.
Big time, yeah.
So I don't think interviews count.
Yeah. I don't know, Ron.
It's results.
It's a good question. Behind the scenes, is there a number that the NFL would like to see, and maybe they put that as an edict to some of the owners who are firing
not
coaches.
Just black, but also just minority.
Sure.
Because there are some
Asian,
coaches, Greek, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, we're gonna talk some Suns next. You'll hear from Monty Williams, and you'll also hear from Chris Paul as he will get us started next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Sun Devil Hockey takes things one game at a time this weekend against St. Thomas of Minnesota. Tune in Friday and Saturday beginning at 6:30 p.m. here on Fox Sports 910, the home of Sun Devil Hockey.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. It's the perfect time of year to take your next adventure off-road in a powerful Chevy Silverado. Round up the whole gang for some family fun in a Chevy Equinox. Hey kids, let's go. Or take your night on the town by storm in a stylish Chevy Blazer. Make more memories and take on the road ahead, wherever it leads you. Find new experiences, find new roads. See your Valley Chevy dealers.
Tickets are on sale for the big game viewing event at Talk Stick Resort. This is the biggest year ever as Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B will host the big game in the Salt River Grand Ballroom. Tickets can be purchased only at Ticketmaster.com. Watch the big game with all your friends on the large TV screens. Take advantage of the food and drink specials. Win cash just for watching the game with their free $25 quarter squares, the free $100 propositions, and the big one, the kickoff progressive jackpot starting at $4,000. All of which will be given out. If that wasn't enough, special guests Bo Jackson and Doug Flutie. Tickets are $25 in advance and $35 at the door. Space is limited. Get your tickets now before they are all gone at Ticketmaster.com. It doesn't get any bigger than this. The big game viewing party at Talking Stick Resort. $25 tickets in advance, $35 at the door. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
The Cal-Am Resort's second annual Legacy Classic is back at Bell Bank Park, January 20th through 22nd. This is the first leg of the 2023 Legacy Tournament Series, so make sure to register today. For more information, visit legacysportsusa.com/pickleball.
Ever wonder what your dog does all day?
I wonder what that suck tastes like. God, I hate cats. Wow, look at that. I can lick my...
Hey, man's best friend needs a good time, too. Duke's on Miller and McDowell is located right on the Greenbelt, has 3 huge patios, and is extremely dog-friendly. Grab a burger and a nice cold beer, a bowl of water, and enjoy all that Scottsdale's favorite sports bar has to offer.
Where? Dukes! Where? Dukes! Miller and McDowell! Scottsdale!
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Meant for mornings, The Drive with Jody Ayler. Listen Monday 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910.
Greg with a rebound. The door is
Guys are hot.
Phoenix. 3-point game. Paul on the drive. Paul lays it in. Just had a bad night of shots, especially in the paint. 6 for 21. You know, you watch him play, and he just doesn't seem to be the guy that's just going to dominate a night. Just you have an opportunity to dominate, and instead of trying to put in those little bunnies, right, those little ones, you know, and that he misses, I wish he would just go in there and just
slam it home. Yeah, I agree.
Just dunk the ball.
I agree, Rock. You know, just especially with Luka was out after 3 minutes, you're like, okay, you know, the Suns should cruise on this bad boy. Problem was, I think they mentally went on cruise control as well too. And as you mentioned, 6 for 20, 1 3-point, missed 3 free throws on top of that. I got to tell you what, if we're going to look to see this young man take the next step, if he's even capable, Rock, of taking the next step to dominate, that was the time. I know he's coming off the sickness and all that, but man, down low, you got the rebounds, and then, you know, box out on the free throws. I mean, you know, that's your guy. Can't let a guy get a rebound off a free throw. Just mental lapses that you see, and you go, DA, you're killing me, Smalls. I mean, I could just hear, you know, coach, you know, say, hey, look, man, you got to stay dialed in. And I don't know, they looked to me that they didn't have the energy they had, you know, during those 4 wins. That's the one thing that really surprised a lot of us would look at. But, you know, on top of that, Dinwiddie, you know, he goes off, keeps them in the game until the end of the game, last 4 minutes. They just took control. I think that's, out of all the things there, is with the DA in there to be a guy who they went to quite a bit, is to take control down low at the end of that game and put the game away, and just have not seen, at least he hasn't seen, or Monty doesn't have the confidence for him to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's a game last year they would have won.
Oh, sure.
And even if they were
during the regular season, Ron.
during
the regular season. Let's clarify that.
I just think that Suns were rolling there a little bit. I think there was some excitement in the Valley, and this would have been a nice way to continue the streak, sweep this homestand, and then go on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, they were up late in that first. They were up by 8 points or something that, and then they just got cold, right? They just could not shoot for the next couple quarters.
What is it about this team when you look at the mismatches always seemed, and another thing too is you look at the lack of defense. But don't you think Jason Kidd's got it? He's figured out Monty Williams' offense when you watch him. I mean, you got Lucas out, your star. He had those 4-game sweep in the playoffs last week. But I know that Monty talks a lot about mismatches. Hell, there seems like there's a mismatch all over the place, and either he doesn't adjust or his players don't adjust. Someone's got to figure out either what I'm telling you is not being communicated, or Jason Kidd's just totally out coaching you in the last 5 minutes of these games.
Here's Monty talking about bench play. He blames the bench play.
It's situational awareness. And like I told the guys, every possession has to be important to us. I didn't think it was important tonight across the board. I thought our bench came in with very little awareness of the game plan. We made a few subs. I made a few subs, and the energy went, focus went. And then in that situation, it was not as important to us as it was to them to get the ball, period.
Okay, my question would be why? Why are they lackadaisical? Why is it not important? What isn't being communicated? 11 points from the bench. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But my question is, I listened to him say, wasn't important, didn't move their feet. I mean, why? I mean, you have a chance to win 5 in a row, especially when Luka goes out of the game. And don't you know that those guys shoot the hell out of the ball? Feeney had a hell of a night. Look at Dinwiddie with a hell of a night. But I don't. Well, Monty then either sit somebody's butt down or put your starters back in. And I know that Cam's on a little bit of a pitch count, and so is DA coming off his sickness. But I don't understand why this team goes through these lapses that they seem to not go through last year. That's the thing that just, I don't know. I hear that go, why not? What's not being communicated in practice? But you sit there, put down and playing time.
I was surprised guys like, Washington, Damian Lee, Saban Lee weren't contributing last night. I mean, Washington 5 minutes, Lee 5 minutes, Damian Lee 0 shots. It just felt off from the bench. Those are 3 guys that I thought have stepped up when guys like CP3 and Cam Johnson have been out the last couple of games.
Damian Lee had 18 minutes with nothing.
Washington 18 minutes with nothing.
With nothing. And Washington. Then again, I don't know if they were as a unit on cruise control. But again, I think that you look at the starters, 4 of the 5 double figures, but Torrey Craig and Sarge, another struggling night, 0 points, and then Torrey Craig, he's either hot or he's not. But in that game, you would think you got to protect the rim and you got to get out there
3 minutes,
get your switches because those threes, Rock, they were wide open. I mean, the guys were just all right. Let me hang out here and set my feet and then shoot it, and they were wide open. So bad defense. Bad mismatches for the Suns, I thought.
Our Chevy Sounds of the night is next, and we take you out to the Knicks and Boston Celtics game last night as the Knicks won 120-117. This is kind of how it all went down and ended with Brunson, who gets a block to steal the win for the Knicks.
Hauser has come in for Boston. Here comes Tatum. It's a 3 off. Rebound Horford. Back to Brogdon. Blocked by Brunson. This one's over. The Knicks have won in overtime.
I don't care how bad either of these teams are or how good they are. Boston and New York, always fun to watch.
Yeah, they are.
They really are. That's good for basketball, especially if the Knickerbockers can finally turn this thing around and get good.
Don't you like the old?
Be nice.
Don't you like the old organ sound in the background, Rock? With,
yeah.
I love that. That takes me back to memories many years ago. And you hear the organ. Here we
Still got it with Bobby Freeman at D-back game.
Well, I know at baseball, but I mean for the Suns games. Yeah, I love that. I love to be what he does, but you hear that in a basketball game with the screeching and the last play, and when you think of Celtics 76ers or Celtics Knicks, that back east foot basketball, man.
It's different. It's much different. The sounds of the night are brought to you by the Valley Chevy Dealers, your Valley Chevy dealer serving the Valley for over 80 years. Find new roads at Valley Chevy. Head to valleychevy.com. Hey, we do want to remind you, I didn't get a chance to mention this to start the show, but we will know, of course, on Sunday who the two teams will be playing in the big game. If you don't have plans yet, which I'm sure you don't, most people wait till the end. Well, we got 2 spots for you. You can join Manuch and I and Jimmy B along with Bo Jackson and Doug Flutie. We'll be at a Talking Stick Resort. Big screens, food and drink specials. We're doing quarter squares, prop games. We got our kickoff jackpot, which will start at $4,000. It's going to cost you $25 to get in. $25, and you got to go to Ticketmaster.com, or you can buy it at the door at $35. Sales are really, really strong. So go to Ticketmaster.com and don't miss out on being part of the big game viewing party at Talking Stick Resort. If you can't make it up there, maybe you live more east, you can join Bauer, Gross, and Jax. They will be hosting the same party at Casino Arizona in the showroom. We're bringing back the showroom. That's where this all started 22 years ago. This is our 22nd consecutive season hosting the big game at either Casino Arizona or Talking Stick. So we do it at both now, but with Bauer and Gross taking care of it, with Jax at the showroom in Casino Arizona. Those guys all have a show called Take the Points, which airs on Saturdays at 11 in the sports book. What's great about Casino Arizona, got the sports book there, which is open. You can utilize that while you're watching the big game. You can make bets during the game, and it's free to enter there. But for us at Talking Stick, you got to get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Well, we're going to take a strong look at this divisional weekend in the NFL as Sean Salisbury will join us next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
By Sunday evening, we'll know which 2 teams will be making their way to Glendale for the Super Bowl on February 12th. Up first Sunday will be the NFC Championship game with Kyle Shanahan leading the Niners as they visit the Eagles.
You try to put guys in position to beat their players, and they got pretty good players too. And on top of it, when you have a real good pass rush with good back end with all 7 of those guys, it just combines for making everything more difficult.
That's followed by the AFC title game in Kansas City with the Chiefs entertaining the Bengals. ASU men's hoops will look to bounce back tomorrow against Washington State, while Arizona tomorrow will call on Washington. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Horn penetrates, drives, lobs it down low to Washington, who slams it in. Warren Washington with the flush.
Sun Devil men's basketball returns to Desert Financial Arena to celebrate the program's Alumni Weekend. The action begins with Oregon State on Thursday, February 2nd, and continues with the Oregon Ducks on Saturday, February 4th. Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball, onward to victory.
The football postseason is here, and you can still win Twin Peaks Man Cards just by playing Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's weekly Fan Pick'em contest. Head to fanpick'em.com and get in your weekly picks or your chance at weekly Man Cards. Thanks to Twin Peaks, Coors Light, and Blue Moon. Don't forget to stop by one of the 4 Valley Twin Peaks locations to watch all the playoff action.
Wright Toyota, the #1 volume Toyota dealer in the state of Arizona, ensures you a buying experience that will exceed all your expectations. Check it out for yourself. Located just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale and online at wrighttoyota.com.
I often get asked, how can Lerner & Rowe effectively handle DUI and criminal cases when you guys are a personal injury law firm? The answer is simple. We're good at it. Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a separate law firm from Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys, and we have some of the most experienced criminal defense attorneys available, including one of only a few certified criminal attorneys in Arizona who have handled thousands of criminal and DUI cases. And we offer affordable payment plans. Getting the defense you need is one phone call away.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Get ready for the nothing but net action of college basketball on AZTV Channel 7. Every Monday and Saturday, we take you courtside for both men's and women's college hoops. AZTV Channel 7. Check out the schedule at aztv.com.
4 NFL teams, 2 conference championship games, and only a few more shots to win big on the playoffs with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Counting down to Super Bowl 57, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Not a new customer? You can feel the conference championship thrills with stepped-up same-game parlays. Take your shot at an even bigger NFL payout and boost your winnings with each leg you add up to 100%. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 910. New customers can bet $5 on the conference championships and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's code 910 only at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus issued as free bets, 1 boost per eligible game. Opt-in required, 10-plus leg required for 100% boost. Deposit, parlay, and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
It's time to say good night to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
A former NFL QB turned radio host, Sean Salisbury goes unfiltered with Roc and Manuch, now on Sports 910.
That's right, join us down the Wright Toyota guest line, Roc and Manuch, out here at Wright Toyota. How are we making out today, Sean? What's happening?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing well, too. We are in the same boat you are in Houston, trying to get a head coach. And I think it's kind of, we're all trying to figure it out. Frank Reich was the guy that we were hoping that maybe would come here, and everybody would think Sean Payton's going to come to their place too. But have you guys do you have an inside track on who Houston may get? Because obviously that may affect what happens here in Arizona.
I think it's down to 2 guys. The long shot was Sean Payton's always been a long shot, but maybe Mike Capta, who I think is going to be really good at some point, but maybe it's a year early. But I think it's going to be D'Amico Ryans or Jonathan Gannon, both young defensive coordinators, both in the semifinals here in the NFC Championship game. And D'Amico's got relation. He played here, and they interviewed Jonathan Gannon a couple times last year as well when they were looking for it. So they're young, innovative. Somebody's going to be around a while. The key is that they want. And D'Amico Ryans is a fan favorite here because because of having played here in Houston. But with Denver wanting him, that's obviously a better current roster, a top 5 caliber defense and good receivers, and they want him too. And they've got a quarterback, and then you've got to find if you can turn Russ Wilson from this year into at least closer to the previous version of Russ Wilson. So that's a better roster that'll win now. With a defense he's trying to get, obviously emulate his 49er defense, but there's a lot of young players here in Houston, and he's got a lot of assets and a lot of salary cap room. So it depends. There'll be more pressure to win quick there, less pressure to win quick here. But pressure here because when you go back to where you played, expectations. I'm going to say they want D'Amico Ryans, but if Denver pulls him away, I'll go Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator of Philly.
Sean, when you look at Sean Payton in reference to how he can change the culture, he can flip the Titanic in a shorter amount of time. I think for the Arizona Cardinals, or maybe a team like Denver just needs a little something here and there. But for the Cardinals, I mean, he's a quasi-generational change for a coach to make them relevant for many, many years. But do you give up that top draft choice and back the Brinks truck up for him?
Yeah, and the question he asked, I asked that here too, Manuch, about him here in Houston. And I'll ask this to you. And here's the way it was pretty simple for me, at least in this one part, with Sean Payton. If the 12th pick for us, it would have been the 12th. They have the 12th pick and the second pick. So let's just say that New Orleans, who really doesn't have to do much, they hold the cards here. They don't have to do squat. But let's say they were holding people hostage and saying, we'll tell you it's a first-round pick. You're going to give us a first round and a third round or what have you. And then they wanted the 12th pick here and then the Arizona Cardinals pick somewhere in the first round or maybe next year's first rounder. You got to ask yourself this. If the 12th pick of the draft 5 years from now, who will have impacted the franchise more? Sean Payton or the 12th pick of the draft? And since the quarterback wouldn't be 12th here, I would say Sean Payton's going to impact the team more because he's going to impact the full roster unless you run into the 12th pick of the draft who's in 4 Pro Bowls. So when it comes to that, but I think whether it's Arizona or here, the red tape you got to go through, and part of it's power.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a power struggle because he wants his own guy, and you guys have already hired a GM, and they have one here. That's a problem. Two is, does he bring certain guys in? His coordinators, obviously, they're going to be expensive. He's going to command about $20 million a year, and it's going to be for 6 to 8 years. So you're talking, $160 million, $150 million bucks. All those things, is it worth it, or do you roll with somebody else who's got a good reputation and it's going to cost half that, and you're not going to have to give up an asset? That's the question you got to ask. I think Sean Payton, if it doesn't go perfect, is going to wait and come back next year unless Arizona, somebody like that, clears some space for him.
Sean Salisbury, Roc and Manuch here on Fox Sports 910. Sean, we had a discussion earlier on the show. It's sensitive, and it has to do with the Rooney Rule. And I posed the question, and I basically said to Manuch, I said, do you think there's a number or a percentage that needs to be reached to stop the conversation about the Rooney Rule and having enough, black coaches or minority coaches? 32 coaches out there. If you hit 16, you're halfway there. Is that all right, or it'll never be enough?
I don't think it's going away anytime soon. And the thing about it is, as far as the Rooney Rule for hiring practices, the key is we got to even go deeper than that. You got to start hiring, the coordinators, move them up to where they go from their position coach to coordinators. It seems that we have more defensive coordinators that are African American than African American offensive coordinators. Now Byron left, which was one, but you got to give them. The same with front offices. They've got to go through. So you give them a chance. We got to put them in positions of have an opportunity to run organizations, and people that are running organizations are coaches to hire, a graduate assistant out of school or a guy who's an assistant receiver coach, and then progressively move up instead of bypass them, give them a chance to call plays and to be the defensive or offensive coordinator. So it's the natural progression to go in there. I don't know why that we still have this issue. I'm not saying Rooney Rule, yes, but a better version of it, because there's a lot of qualified minorities and black coaches. Mm-hmm. And I get the frustration. It's like, wait a minute, Steve Wilkes happened with you guys, and Carolina, Frank Reich comes in. I get the optics, but I don't know how to fix it, because it's the guys sitting in the offices. It's like in any company. The people that are doing the hiring, most of them don't look like the people they're hiring. And I mean that as a, it's like in corporate America. A bunch of white guys sitting in there, and then they hire a bunch of white guys until there's an African American female and sitting on your board, or African American or Hispanic, where the diversity and inclusion is involved, where they have a voice, a loud voice to say, wait a second now, Steve Wilkes earned this for D'Amico Ryan. There's no doubt we need more opportunity, considering we have a number of obviously African American players. I don't understand where the disconnect is. The Rooney Rule should be here, but we need a better version of it. It's not just calling them in for an interview. It's a legitimate, fair, that if they're the best interview and they've got a resume, you have got to give them a chance to do it. Now, I talked to Tony Dungy about this in the past before he got hired when he was in Minnesota. They want to be known as great coaches and they're proud of their heritage, that are black. We don't want to keep saying black head coach, like quarterback. We don't say that anymore.
Yeah.
We are saying, Warren Moon and I talked about that. We just say great quarterback. We don't even, the color doesn't even come into it. They're great players, and they're proud, and they should be. That we're to the point we've gotten past that. And maybe this was going to take year after year, the best in the business. I think the best coach in the NFL, not named Andy Reid, maybe Belichick, and I can put him in the category and say currently, is Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin is very, if I was a general manager, the first guy I would interview would be Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
So we got to do a better job of the people that are doing the hiring, make sure that the interviews are legitimate, because we're missing out on a lot of African American and or minority candidates that can lead. And you got to put them in positions to lead, to prove that they can lead, and they will, just like on a football field.
Sean, you were talking about, are those top picks going to affect 5 years down the road versus Sean Payton as a head coach? But you look at these conference championship games, which is interesting. You got top pick quarterbacks every game except for Brock. Mr. Irrelevant, but look at the defensive front seven. So I look at the quarterbacks and both defensive front sevens for all these 4 teams. Those common denominators, top picks for each front seven, and for the top quarterback pick, except for
3 minutes.
You look at that and go, wow, there's impactful football with top picks in all the front fours, all the front sevens, and the quarterbacks aside from Brock.
And right now, Brock is playing like a first-round pick. Think about the narrative now. If we were playing this week and Brock Purdy was the 18th player 18th player picked last year in the first round, do you know what they'd be saying? We would be saying the 49ers have a franchise quarterback.
Yep.
If his name right now was Kenny Pickett, if his name was a quarterback that had been drafted in the first round that had different measurables and wasn't the last player picked, with what he's done, they'd say, man, he waited a little bit. Unfortunately, got the job hurt, but now he's ready. So what a great first-round pick. This guy, the
2 minutes.
franchise is set. But the narrative is because he's the last player picked. Front office people miss on these guys, and they missed on Brock Purdy. Now he's still got more to prove, but he keeps going on the road. He'll win at home. This will be the toughest environment. You're right. All 4 front sevens, in particular in this game he's playing in, there's not a weakness on either team. Quarterback's playing lights out. Hurts is an MVP guy. Perimeter people are big home run hitters. Both can run the ball. They both get after you defensively, and they don't beat themselves. They're well coached. Coaches on their staffs are going to get head coaching jobs. I mean, everything to like in that game. And the other one, you got star quarterbacks, front sevens, home run hitters. I mean, great coaching staff. I don't understand why we don't talk more about Zach Taylor and Cincinnati. Guy's about to be in the Super Bowls if he wins in 2 straight years. And his staff, that never gets talked about. So, yeah, it's amazing. But the narrative would shift if Brock was a high pick. But if you love great football and the reason they're here, there's no backing in. The 4 best teams in the NFL, regardless of their seeding, are playing in the Final Four, and we got them. And it is going to be nasty, but you've got it. Build a front seven and find yourself a quarterback, and you can win.
Sean, we're up against it, but I'm just assuming you're going Eagles, Chiefs.
Oh, I'm going Cincinnati. Cincinnati, San Francisco.
Oh, baby. Atta boy, Sean. Oh. All right.
I'm taking both road teams. D'Amico will have a plan, and Joe Burrow's the best quarterback on the field this weekend.
All right.
Atta boy, Sean. Love you, my man.
Yeah.
Trump's spoken like a true quarterback.
Have a great weekend. Thank you. Sean Salisbury. Follow him on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered. Sorry we get more time with him to really break those down, but he is driven by All City Towing. All City Towing continues to grow. They are hiring all types of positions, full-time, immediate openings, 401k program with a generous company match. And the fastest way to apply is online. Just go to allcitytowing.com and just search careers. That's allcitytowing.com and search careers. Coming up, I might have the perfect side hustle for you. And new research says the number one dream job around the world is, it might surprise you guys. That's next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, sports fans, are you ready for the biggest sports weekend ever? Then join me, Jody Ayler, and Fox Sports 910 for the 23rd Annual Celebrity Sweat Flag Football Game with over 30 stars from sports and Hollywood. Tracy McGrady versus RG3, Sean Marion, Michael Irvin, and much more. It all happens at Grand Canyon University Super Saturday, February 11th. Check out celebflagfootball.com for rosters, tickets, and more. The game will air live on NBC Channel 12, so get your tickets today or tune in and help support our military members and first responders.
Have you been arrested for something you didn't do? When your liberty is on the line, you need an aggressive, experienced attorney to defend your rights. Lerner & Rowe Law Group is the firm you can trust with your freedom. Our criminal defense attorneys have represented thousands of clients across the state. And with our affordable payment plans, you can get the defense you need immediately. If you've been wrongly charged with a crime, time is not up on your side. Call Lerner & Rowe today for a free consultation. We're available to help you 24/7.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
The right price, the right selection. It's all now at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Stop by today and see why Wright Toyota continues to be Arizona's top Toyota dealership, located just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard and online at wrighttoyota.com.
Are you looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider, locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
Home shopping? You'll need a pre-approval letter. Call GC Global Capital and you can get pre-approved in minutes. Call 480-397-9300. Free second opinions and comparisons. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker. NMLS 1091187. License MB 0924983. An equal opportunity lender.
Golfers, tee it up at Van's Golf Shops and go farther and faster with the new G430 woods and irons from Ping. The Ping G430 woods introduce the next generation of speed with new face technology for longer and more accurate shots. The new Ping G430 irons are designed with pure flex technology for faster ball speed and more distance. Swing into Van's Golf Shops and get custom fit on the new Ping G430 woods and irons today. Van's Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points, powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
Did you know the human head weighs 8 pounds?
Did you know that Troy Aikman in only 6 years has passed for 16,303 yards? Did you know the career record for most hits is 4,256 by Pete Rose, who is not in the Hall of Fame?
Do you know that my next door neighbor has 3 rabbits?
Now time for Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B to give you the random facts of the day.
Guys are hot.
By your Valley Chevy dealers. Find new roads at your Chevy dealer. For a dealer near you, head to valleychevy.com.
All right, if you and your partner are looking for some extra cash and you're willing to test your relationship with a frustrating task, then this may be the perfect side hustle for you.
Oh.
The people at financebuzz.com are looking to hire couples, and they'll pay you $1,000, and they will also give you another $1,000 with a gift card.
Okay.
And all you have to do is shop for an IKEA bedroom set and put it together. And you got to document the process.
The putting together?
You get $1,000 for doing that.
Oh, my
And then you
God.
get $1,000 IKEA gift card.
I would rather, I don't mind doing the shopping, but when it comes to putting that stuff together, I'll go pay somebody
Absolutely.
$1,000.
That says a lot.
For any of the furniture,
I am with
beds, whatever.
Yep.
Could they have less than 9,000 pieces per furniture when you put this stuff together?
Yep.
And having the right tool, the right wrench, or, okay, this thing's, I'm done.
The only prereqs, other than being a couple, is you have to live near an IKEA, and you have to have time to shop and assemble a furniture between February 2nd or 21st and March 21st. So you have a month, and you're willing to share photos and videos of your experience.
And I think
even if you end up breaking up, you gotta still do that.
I love it because that was like when I was married the first time around.
Yep.
We wallpapered together. Don't ever do it. I swear to God.
Never ever do wallpaper.
Well, we did it. We did wallpaper in
that
the
was
kitchen.
it for a while. Yeah.
We were doing the wallpapering, and I swear to God, Rock, I'm a I'm surprised we didn't get divorced after 2 years doing all the wallpaper.
I can't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like
It is frustrating.
I'd rather work, 100 hours a week to afford to pay somebody to do that.
You just nailed it, man. Just working on something together that's frustrating. And no, that goes here. No, honey, I think it goes here. No, I know it says right here. I know that, but this no, no thanks. We'll just hire somebody.
So some new research came up with a list of the
That's
top
funny.
dream jobs worldwide and all across the board. And I'll let you guys try to guess, all three of you, what number one was.
Dream job?
Dream job.
Oh, dream job. I'm going to say.
And it's all broken down by country, but this one was number one in U.S., Canada, U.K., Australia.
When was the survey? What's the date on it? Is it updated? Or?
It would have been, let's say, 27th, so within the last month.
I'm going to say the dream job going to be an actor, an Academy Award.
Actor was number 6.
Okay, all right. Jax?
I feel like nowadays with social media, I'm going to say an influencer.
All right, like a YouTuber.
Yeah, YouTuber.
That came in at number 4.
Wow.
Okay, so I got closer.
I'm sorry. I stand corrected. No, YouTuber was a standalone at number 4. Influencer was 7.
Okay.
Ben, what would you say, Ben?
Thinking back when I was a kid, I wanted to be like a professional basketball player. So is it an athlete?
Athlete did not make the top 20.
Really?
And
Wow,
here, and I don't know why that wasn't the case, because my daily digit is $32,657.
Okay.
That's the salary per minute this season that Miami Heat guard Jimmy Butler makes.
Wow.
Over $32,000 a minute. He's played over 1,100 minutes so far this year.
I'm shocked because I dreamed to be a professional football player, professional baseball player.
Sorry, it didn't work out.
I know, man. If I got close, snipped it.
Number one dream job, according to this survey, was a pilot.
Really? Okay.
And then a writer, and then a dancer, YouTuber, entrepreneur was 5, actor was 6, influencer was 7, programmer was 8, singer was 9, teacher was 10.
Teacher should be one of the, as far as the most undervalued job total.
I agree.
And they should make actor type of money, which they should be making.
You know what's crazy is so they broke out so pilot was number 1, like I told you.
Interesting. Okay.
In South Korea, a police officer was number 1. In Egypt, it was a football coach.
Okay. Football.
Soccer, yeah. Brazil was a businessman. And Mexico, a YouTuber.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dream jobs. Pro sport. I thought pro athlete would be right up there.
Yeah, I kind of did too. So those
So
are
we
random facts today.
wanted to be an actor.
Update on that Uber Eats delivery the other day, which was
yes,
during the Loyola Chicago and the Duquesne game. It was all prank. It was all prank. Yeah. If you're not familiar, what happened was an Uber Eats delivery guy actually stopped the game as he brought. This is Wednesday night. He brought a bag of McDonald's to the referee.
I wonder how the conference is feeling about that right now.
So it was a prank. It was done just to get some internet exposure, and boy, did it.
Sure did.
That was good work by him.
Yeah.
Hey, on this day, 13 years ago, only 13 years ago, Steve Jobs came out with the iPad. And 39 years ago today, Michael Jackson, while filming the Pepsi commercial, suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns when his hair caught on fire.
Yeah, all the sparks that were going off around him, like the sparkler thing.
2 minutes.
On him and set him on fire, unfortunately.
That's nuts if you think about
That's
that.
you think about long time ago. Interesting to see what commercials come out this year, Rock. We're seeing a couple of hints here and there.
Sad news, legendary college basketball player, a commentator, I should say, Billy Packer, passed away at the age of 82. And then on a local level, this is sad news. Greg Patrick passed away recently at the age of, I think, 52 or 53. A guy who football coach at Morrell High School for a long time, went on to U of A, played in the National Football League, played collegiately at Brown, an Ivy Leaguer. Very young guy, and
great guy.
Just got word of that today.
Yeah, outstanding defensive mind, and was helping out. Was last time we had talked, it was when he was helping out Noel Mazzoni down there at U of A, and helping out with Khalil as far as quarterback and what have you. So yeah, very Very sad news to hear that because he was an absolutely outstanding individual.
And locally, he was a Chandler Valley Christian under Bill Morgan. He was at Chaparral under Charlie Regal. Of course, then he was down there with Regal, I think, at U of A for a little while, too, and played in the Canadian League. And reportedly died on Sunday, and the cause of death is not known.
Very sad to hear that.
53.
Yeah, good guy. Good man.
Yeah. It is National Chocolate Cake Day, Manuch.
I'm going to dive into some tonight. I'm a chocoholic. Chocolate cake.
Right out of the gate, we're going to catch up with the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, Mitch Holthus. He will join us, and then we have Manuch's Clipboard Report, as well as Scott Spreitzer, and the return of Smalley Time. If you've been listening to this show, he was a staple on Fridays about 2 years ago. He's back.
Attention grillers. Is it time to replace that old grill in your backyard? Need to step up your game? Your chance to win a new one is right now. Just text PEAKS to 55678. That's PEAKS 55678. And you will be entered to win a customized backyard grill patio set, courtesy of Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. You can enter once a day. Standard message and data rates apply. That's PEAKS to 55678.
Are you living paycheck to paycheck only to find yourself going backwards financially each month? Nobody wants to file bankruptcy, but at many times, it's the best choice. The credit industry wants you to believe that bankruptcy is bad and that it will destroy your credit forever, but that's just not true. In most cases, filing bankruptcy can improve your credit. At Lerner Rowe Law Group, our bankruptcy lawyers only work on bankruptcy cases, and we can file your bankruptcy with $0 down.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
All the radio stations you love, every playlist to match your mood, the podcasts that everyone's talking about. If it's on the iHeartRadio app, it's free. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
I'm Byron Brown, the anti-lawyer lawyer. When it comes to your personal injury case, I'm straight to the point. I'll answer your call, no BS.
Byron Brown, the anti-lawyer lawyer. Call 1-800-ANTI-LAWYER.
Hey, this is Peter Schrager from the NFL Network's morning show, Good Morning Football. You've also seen me on NFL Sidelines and in studio for Fox Sports on Sunday. Well, I've got a new podcast with iHeart in the NFL, and we're calling it The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to empty my proverbial notebook and take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910.
It was an extended visit on Thursday that Sean Payton had with the Cardinals regarding their head coaching job. Payton also met this week with Carolina and Denver. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport this morning said the Cardinals, along with the Broncos, appear to still be in play for Payton's services. Tonight here on Fox Sports 910, Arizona State hockey as the Sun Devils play host to the University of St. Thomas. Longtime college basketball TV analyst Billy Packer has passed away. He was 82. And among the latest names to commit to the WM Phoenix Open, two-time champ Hideki Matsuyama, along with Patrick Cantlay and Matt Fitzpatrick. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now at foxsports910.com.
This is Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
So we can call our
Mostly
podcast.
clear and sunny skies. Temperatures getting up to about 62 degrees. For tonight, we'll see those temperatures dipping back down into those upper
Record the theme song and
For the
everything.
Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by New Vision Auto Glass.
Looking through a windshield with a crack or chip in it? Call New Vision Auto Glass now. Qualifying customers can get up to $250 cash back with a free dinner at Rodizio Grill. Call 480-210-9090, 480-210-9090, or newvisionautoglass.com.
Jalen Hurts is injured.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch.
He's no Kyler Murray. That's for
proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, you guys are hot.
Fox Sports 910.
Just after 2 o'clock, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on Fox Sports 910. We're going to get right to it as the Chiefs and the Bengals are going to fight for a spot in Super Bowl 57 right here in Phoenix, Arizona, when the Chiefs take on the Bengals at Burrowhead. Or I'm sorry, it's Arrowhead
throw a
on
Burrowhead out
Sunday.
there.
Joining us now is the voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, longtime voice, Mitch Holthus joins us now on the right to it.
Sorry, Mitch, I can't dress him and take him
Well,
anywhere,
Mitch,
man.
see, Mitch, I gotta say, it's
What's up, Rock?
Mitch,
you're the dude in 7th grade that goes, I think Manuch is wanting to date your girlfriend, dude. I don't know about you. Didn't want to tell you this. Keep it just between us. Yeah, I see how it rolls. Let's see how it is.
Hey, it's been, you got to admit, Mitch, it's been quieter this week about all the stuff going on to this game compared to, I would say, a week ago. It just seems as though, other than, the smack talking, but the Burrowhead seems to be the bulletin board material that we're hearing a lot of, at least out here. Is it resonating at all there?
Yeah. Let's just say that it is. To answer your question, even to the point where Chris Jones mentioned it today in his media session, where he just kind of said it jokingly. And then, quite honestly, Eli Apple said nothing about us, but he did something that I think only one person on the whole planet could do, and that is to get the Bills Mafia to cheer for the Chiefs.
Ooh.
Because after Eli Apple did it, seriously, he was showing the heart and kind of dissing the whole DeMar Hamlin thing with the Bills.
Yeah.
And said Cancun on 3. Like, the Bills are like, okay, we're going to smash tables and cheer for the Chiefs. And think about how strange bedfellows that is. If the Bills are cheering for us, Eli Apple must have really made them mad.
Yeah, I got to tell you what, it's I'm excited for this game, Mitch. Always great to catch up with a former K-State Wildcat on top of everything. But boy,
baby, Emo, baby, Big 12 champion.
Yeah, how about Coach Tang getting that thing turned around down there in Manhattan, Kansas?
They were talking Chiefs today.
I'm sorry.
Let's go.
I know they play Florida tomorrow, but Rock, just check it out. That's number 5 in the country for you, on the heels of a football Big 12 championship. So it might be America's team right there. Kurt Warner's kid.
That's right,
Kurt
man.
Warner's kid
Yeah.
plays for us.
Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it, Rock.
Rock needs to realize it, buddy. Just email, man.
I
was going to tell you about Mahomes' injury. I know you're going to get to that. But it brought up just a memory of mine where Manuch we're playing Oklahoma State, and Manuch injured an ankle in the first half, and the second half he injured his knee. He was on a cot on the sideline at Jim Bowie at the Alamo with 2 loaded muskets. And the last drive, they brought him out on a cot, and he just hobbled in and threw the winning touchdown to Jimmy Otto, and we beat Oklahoma State. So
I love it.
I'm just telling you.
I love
You're
it.
with an American hero, Rob.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
You know how big your head, this guy's head is these days because he's been training Brock Purdy since he was in the 6th grade, and all he does
ninth grade.
Ninth grade, he's been doing these hits all over the world because of Brock Purdy's success.
I mean, I can't help it. I train him. Hey, if I can't play it, I train him, right, Mitch?
You got it. I mean, telling you, and the fact that I'm just mad at Manuch that he didn't bring him to K-State, but our kid Howard is really good. So yeah, we're all good here, man. Rock, it's all rolling. It's a huge time.
Well, let's talk
time for the Wildcat Nation.
Let's talk about the ankle and man, I'm just amazed he came back, but it sounds like he's moving around pretty good. Will he be at 85-90%? I doubt it, but that guy throws off platform 99% of the time as it is anyway, Mitch. So I don't think it's going to affect his throwing. The only thing I see is his mobility or getting out of dodge once in a while.
Well, here's the way my week has been, because you hear everything from on one end is like he's on his last breath, he'll never walk again, to hey, my cousin's broker saw him and he was riding a skateboard, with no shoes on down the middle of the street. So it's somewhere in between there. But honestly, guys, to be real honest with you, being around him this week, I had a chance just sit down and talk yesterday, and it wasn't even. I mean, he's such a phenomenal dude. Not just a great player, and he's got some weird body type that allows him to heal some. Now, he's not totally healed, let's be honest.
Sure.
But you say not 85%? I would say not so fast, my friend. If Lee Corso's here, everything's in play right now for him and this offense. Everything. So just hang in there. And we got some time till 5:30, but it's way ahead of where I thought it would be after I saw the injury, called the injury, and then here it was a high ankle sprain. The dude's a unicorn, man. He's some kind of alien in the way that he can come back from stuff.
It's Brady, Manning. That was always a debate for a long time. It was Manning better with great numbers, but Brady wouldn't lose in the playoffs. Seems like we're starting not to quite to that level with Burrow and with Mahomes and creating this incredible rivalry. But if Burrow would, win again, then this rivalry is really one-sided, and you really can't call it a rivalry, can you?
Well, you can. I mean, it's only 4 games in here.
True, yeah.
And let's be honest, Brock, everybody, the national narrative has been like, my God, it was 41-0. It was all 3 games were 41-0.
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah.
Let's back up the truck. Stop a second. All 3 games, 2 were walk-off field goals, and the other one, the Chiefs are driving to take a 2-possession lead in the fourth quarter in Cincinnati to go up 31-20, and that's when they stripped Kelsey of the ball near midfield. All right? So it's been that close. It literally comes down to like 3 or 4 plays. So if you want to talk about Manning Brady, I'll give you that one. Because those plays would come down, games I should say, would come down to 3 or 4 plays. But this is not like Burrow's dominating Mahomes. Cincinnati's done a very good job against him. But in a way, we're almost underrating Mahomes. He's 64-18 in his first 80 games. That's the best of any quarterback in the history of the league. And what he's been able to do just in the postseason in his 5 years as a starter, you always see these and Joe's really good. Don't get me wrong. But they'll go his first 3 years in the playoffs. He's got, well, wait a minute. Mahomes sat his whole first year. So when you see, anytime you guys see these Justin Herbert or going right down the line, Joe Burrow stats, you've got to say, oh, well, wait a minute. That needs an asterisk because Patrick didn't play his first year. So you have to say first 3 years as a starting quarterback to do an apples-to-apples comparison. Even the playoff wins. Joe's got 5. He's done awesome, man. He's a winner. We know he won the national championship at LSU. He grew up as a Chiefs fan in Iowa. As a little kid when his dad coached at Iowa State. But Mahomes, look what in his first 3 years as a starter, he had won a Super Bowl. Okay, and he played in another one and got runner-up. And he, too, had won, let me see, he's gone 3, 4, 5, 6 playoff wins. So you've got to do an apples-to-apples comparison. That's something that goes, well, let's do something like a political ad here and make it look like it's something different than it really is.
Well, Mitch, and speaking of that, when you talk about Mahomes and then putting the pressure on one Joe Burrow, I mean, I look at last year, how he was pressured and sacked, and they still won. But the one guys I'm looking at your front 4 here on this 4-3 front defense, but I think everybody's waiting for him to get off the schneid unless he's doing a great job with rush defense. Is Chris Jones, 13 playoff games, 0 sack or 1 sack. I think sometimes people make too much of that, Just want to get your thoughts on that. He's done a hell of a job as far as run defense, maybe not getting to the quarterbacks, but in reference, he's part of that 4-3 front that's one of the best in the league.
He's the best interior defensive lineman of 2022. Check Pro Football Focus grades. Dexter Lawrence and here are the only two that have the number of pressures. I'm talking interior defensive linemen here, not defensive ends. And the Chiefs would not win
3 minutes
before had it not been for Chris Jones, who had 3 passes defensed in the fourth quarter. And to me, it's the most underrated defensive stat there is. We get love to sacks. We play fantasy football with sacks. The passes deflected at or near the line of scrimmage, to me, are looming as almost as big a stat as sacks. Why? Teams are playing different offensively now. For example, Burrow's made a big adjustment in his game.
Mm-hmm.
He gets rid of the ball in 2.55.
Yes.
That's second quickest release time in the league. First is Tom Brady. Second's him. Third's the guy we played last week, Trevor Lawrence. Hard to get sacks when the ball's out in like nanoseconds. But you can get deflections. And you still can get pressures. And you can, even if you don't knock down the pass at the line of scrimmage like some kind of, fly swatter, you can still affect the physics of the throw. And that's what defense has become now in this league. And winning these playoff games, stealing a possession, getting a takeaway, or deflecting a pass, and maybe it's or Jamar Chase is wide open at 25 yards, but the pass never gets there. If you talk to offensive coaches around this league, they will tell you that is a devastating play to them because they go, it was there.
2 minutes.
It was there. It was there for a 25-yard gain. Right now, the Chiefs defensive linemen have 36 passes defensed among their front 7. Chris has 4. Carlos Dunlap's got 8. George Karlaftis has 7. It's my favorite defensive stat of this Chiefs team, and the fact that they can affect throws before they get to the receiver.
Mitch, I do want to go on record that I am all over the Chiefs on winning this. I think you may have taken my tone as I was leaning towards the Cincinnati Bengals.
Philadelphia tone
so
that he has.
I'm an Eagles fan. I want to see Eagles Chiefs, so I would love that.
You're in 7th grade. I think Mitch like Manuch. I think Mitch likes your girlfriend. I don't know what you think.
Hey, I couldn't get into Kansas State. I ended up at Ohio University, so I couldn't get in there. So.
Mitch, you are the absolute best. We appreciate your time on a very busy Friday.
Yes, thank you.
And you can take your nap now, and then we'll get the hell out of your way. How's that?
We'll see you in about a week and a half, right?
Wait a minute. That's my oatmeal. That is my oatmeal. A little vodka in it. That's good. Do game, and then I'll go up close and personal.
Do that Uber Eats call out to Swanee's Donuts for you up there in Kansas City. I'm sure they'll be up there in about 2.5 hours.
Well, we brought it to the ref in the game. So
yeah, we just talked about that. That was great. Mitch, thank you, bud. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
All right, it's Mitch Holthrop, who's the play-by-play voice of your Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, he put you in your place. So you put your
I got
pipe
beat
and
up
smoke
today.
it, man.
Got beat up.
You bring up a great point. Everybody's
it's that bulletin board material.
Burrowhead.
I mean, he's 3 in a row. 4. I mean, if he goes 4, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, that offseason is going to be pretty tough for the Chiefs fans.
I can see the memes now going, replacing Arrowhead with Burrowhead.
Oh, it's already started. It's crazy. Manuch is going to break this down, this game. His clipboard report is next as we continue on from Wright Toyota, where you won't go wrong, WrightToyota.com.
6-time Pro Bowl quarterback Donovan McNabb joins Jody Ayler every week on The Drive to talk the biggest stories from the NFL. Tuesday at 8:33 on Fox Sports 910. Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
Holiday bills bringing you down? Global Capital makes it easier for you. Start 2023 on the right track. Call professionals at GC Global Capital, 480-397-9300 to see if their debt consolidation home loan program can benefit you. They save their clients tons of cash each month with their valuable refinancing programs. Your home is your most valuable asset. Why work with anyone else? Call GC Global Capital, 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital, your gift for the holidays. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker, NMLS 1091187. License NB 0924993 and equal opportunity lender.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. It's the perfect time of year to take your next adventure off-road in a powerful Chevy Silverado. Round up the whole gang for some family fun in a Chevy Equinox. Hey kids, let's go. Or take your night on the town by storm in a stylish Chevy Blazer. Make more memories and take on the road ahead wherever it leads you. Find new experiences, find new roads. See your Valley Chevy dealers.
Bo knows where to watch the big game. Talking Stick Resort. Join Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as they host the big game viewing party with special guests Bo Jackson and Doug Flutie. Get your tickets now, just $25 at Ticketmaster.com. It's the big game viewing party at Talking Stick Resort.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Over the years, Lerner Rowe has helped over 120,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries. And during that time, we've donated millions of dollars to Arizona charities. Our goal is not only to make a positive impact on our clients' lives, but also the lives of many Arizona residents that rely on nonprofits to get through their tough times. Lerner Rowe is more than just a law firm. We're a community partner dedicated to make Arizona a better place for everyone.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Major League Pickleball is coming to Bell Bank Park January 26th through 29th. This pro event will feature professional pickleball teams owned by celebrities who will be in attendance. Come check out the action. Spectator tickets are available at bellbankpark.com/events.
Mass Mutual knows that your finances can be an uncomfortable conversation.
Mark, we should really talk about our money.
Yep, we really should.
Like, we never talk about our savings.
No, we never talk.
Hey, Manuch, you want music playing underneath you the entire time?
Yeah. Really
all right, I just want to.
Maybe one of those financial plans.
One of those will make a difference.
We should talk about it.
We really should.
Talk to us about financial wellness today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Mass Mutual. Live Mutual.
To learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Those lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Time for Manuch to do what he does best. Hold the clipboard.
As Manucci takes, slides, hit, keeps the ball 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 50, and he's hauled down from behind at the 10-yard line. Manucci was wondering would he run out of gas or run out of field, and he did a little of both.
It's Manuch's Clipboard Report on Fox Sports.
You guys are hot.
All right, this is how it's going to work. Manuch is going to break down these two games from a player perspective. And then coming up in about 15 minutes, we'll have a handicapper in Scott Spreitzer, who's been coming on 15 years, to break it down from a handicap perspective. And then in about 40 minutes, we will have a fan call in named Sean Smalley for Smalley Time, and he will give his take on these two games.
Wow, two professionals and an amateur.
Yes. So that's what we have ahead here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We'll start with 49ers and Eagles. Of course, a lot of talk on both these teams, very evenly matched, and most likely it will all come down to the quarterback play. Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy.
Yeah, you look at this, QBs, and I look at this, Rock, as the quarterbacks and play calling. When you have two young quarterbacks, can they handle the bright lights? The big stage of a championship game. Here's Brock Purdy that's just come on the last 7 games in a row. And here it is. Like going back to Philadelphia, it'll be windy, it'll be cold, and the NFC championship game. Then you got Jalen Hurts. Young man's been playing the last couple of years, has improved greatly. MVP candidate. Seems to be handling everything pretty good. But then again, it is the NFC championship game. I look at both Brock and look at Jalen, both athletic, extremely accurate in their throws. They're very bright guys, and they take care of the ball. And if there's one thing that Brock has done, has taken care of the football, not throwing the interceptions. You hear me talking about he's taken a couple of good sacks. Threw it away, sailed it, took the sack. Live for another down.
And you taught him that.
And I absolutely. Yes. If there's nothing there,
there's multiple times you said to him when I was in Buffalo, Chuck Knox.
That's right.
Would say it's okay to throw the ball away and take a sack.
Throw it away, take a sack. And you know what else is okay? It's okay to punt.
It's okay to punt,
It
yes.
is okay to punt. But I think, with that being said, with both these quarterbacks, and Jalen Hurts has been so impressive. What a difference he's looked this last year.
MVP candidate.
And he is taking care of the ball. He runs throws. I mean, he's a 5-tool quarterback that has really matured, over these last couple of years, and that's the biggest thing you take a look at. But I think it's going to be both on these head coaches as far as play callers to how to get them into the flow, how to utilize their weapons, when to run them, when not to run them. I call it, be in scenarios and situations that they're going to have success early and often, especially if it's going to be very, very windy. So looking at both of these quarterbacks, who, by the way, did play each other just a couple of short years ago. Matter of fact, it was Jalen Hurts last game as a quarterback at OU when he beat Brock Purdy.
Oklahoma, right?
Oklahoma.
Not Ohio U.
No, Oklahoma, OU, the real OU.
The University of Oklahoma. For some reason, they say OU.
Makes
no sense.
Where Brock Purdy almost brought them back, went for 2 points, could have won 43-42, but Jalen Hurts beat him 42-41. Here's Jalen Hurts talking about that last game in college facing Brock Purdy.
Obviously, 2 different teams, 2 different times. I remember getting out early, and then had like 5 touchdowns in the first half. I think it was like 35-14 at halftime or something like that, and then they ended up coming back. Kennedy Brooks made a real good run, made it like 42-something. Yeah, it was a good game. Glad we won.
Yeah, glad they won because if that kid catches that 2-point conversion, they lose that game. They just talked about.
And you also wonder if that would have changed Brock Purdy and where he got drafted.
Very good point.
Beating Oklahoma.
Very good point. And then there's, we talk about Jalen Hurts and steady as you go. Well, here's Nick Sirianni, his head coach, talking about he's the same guy whether things are up or whether things are down.
No man suddenly becomes different than his cherished thoughts and habits, and that's something that's a line Frank Reich used to always say to me, that Jalen, just because the moment's big doesn't mean what he means by that is just because the moment's big doesn't mean he's going to all of a sudden change who he's been for the past 3 years that he's been in Philadelphia, right? He's going to have that same demeanor. You just don't all of a sudden change, right? Just because the situation changes. And we've made that's what we think as a team. And I know Jalen, that's just that he's going to be locked in and he's going to work. And
yeah, and then you talking about that, and then there's Kyle Shanahan in reference to the growth of Brock Purdy. What is Kyle seeing in this short development of one Brock Purdy?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's been pretty fluid from the beginning, but I mean, it gets easier and easier each week. Brock there's lots of times that the headset will cut off, and there's a number of times we don't have to use the timeout and stuff because he's got a lot of those plays memorized anyways. I think he gets better at anticipating the calls that I'm going to do. So once he starts to hear a formation, I'm going to always finish it, but he's already walking to the huddle, kind of finishing what I'm saying. So he was good from the beginning, and he's only getting better at it.
All right, Manuch. So with that being said, both coaches heard from Jalen Hurts. Who do you have winning this game?
I got the San Francisco 49ers winning this game 21-18 in a close one. It's going to be a slobber knocker, a lot of physicality. But I like the overall weapons for this San Francisco team to go into Philly, fight the wind and cold, and win this game 21-18.
All right, let's move on to Burrow versus Mahomes, Part 4, with the Bengals heading into Kansas City.
And you called Burrowhead. It could be. Hey, Bengals are hot. They're hitting on all cylinders. Jackson and I were talking a bit earlier about the receiving core, running, Joe Burrow being hot. You know what? And it's interesting when you hear a quarterback's perspective on being 3-0 going into the fourth game. Is Joe Burrow talking about this team versus the team last year?
More experience, more reps. We know the team we're playing. We've played them a bunch, and so I'm sure they're going to have some wrinkles off of things that they've shown us in the past, whether it was last game or playoffs last year, because they know that they're going to be studying all 3 of these games just like we are. So we're going to have to be ready for anything.
Yeah, I think be ready for anything. It's just that crowd as well, too. And don't you know, when you go into Arrowhead, it's going to be loud. It's a fun environment. Here's Coach Taylor talking exactly about that, the environment of the Bengals going into Arrowhead.
Arrowhead's one of the toughest environments to play in. I thought last week was tough. It's a great environment. Their fans are into it. Same thing in Kansas City. It's a fun atmosphere to play in.
3 minutes.
You're part of the NFL, and so our guys look forward to it.
And I think that's for any team. You got to ignore the noise, ignore all your surroundings. It's going to be loud, and go in there. So for the Chiefs, We talked about Mahomes' high ankle sprain. I think Mitch Holthus, who we just had on, kind of hinted it may not be close to 85%, but he'll still make things happen. And when you look at all those kind of things, you got to think, okay, what are some of the things you're looking at or people are saying, especially if you're the underdog going into a game? Here's Mahomes talking about he doesn't feel like an underdog going into games.
I mean, every time I walk on that field, I don't think I'm an underdog, especially when I walk on Arrowhead's field. So I just go in with the same mindset of we're going to play our best football to win. We know we're playing a great football team that's beat us the last 2 minutes. So we have to learn from our mistakes in the past and be better in order to win against a great football team.
Well, they are a great football team, and Andy Reid, he talks about, hey, you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. Here's Andy talking about not a lot of weaknesses with this Bengals team.
Just tell you they're a real good football team. They don't have a lot of weaknesses on either side of the ball or special teams. So, it's that part hasn't changed from the first time we played them. They're good, and we played them, or they wouldn't be here at this round.
You just hear Andy Reid, just the genius that he is, the play calling. This is funny. You got to listen to this one here. And Travis Kelce. Rock, I think that he could, Andy Reid, draw a play up for you to get a first down.
Of course.
Travis
Love
Kelce,
Andy Reid.
Travis Kelce talks about he could drop a play to get his father a first down.
I love the opportunity of just getting me one-on-one with somebody. If I can get that situation, I feel like I can, have the upper hand in that situation. And Coach Reid does an unbelievable job of just finding ways to attack defenses week in, week out to just, always keep them in a reactionary position. And I tell everybody all the time, I owe all my success to this guy for kind of expanding the tight end role in this offense for me, especially in the receiving game. And I don't see myself ever, playing for another head coach, especially in another offensive mind like Andy Reid.
Well, if somebody pays him $30 million a year, I'm sure he'll be all right with going somewhere else.
The only way I could see the Chiefs winning this game, Rock, they got to put pressure. They've got to score. They got to get some stops, but they've got to protect Mahomes. They cannot.
So you got Bengals.
I've got the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs winning this one.
You just said the
way that the Chiefs win this game. The way the Chiefs win this game.
So
that. I got the Chiefs winning this one 35-31 over the Bengals.
High scoring game. You're going to be so wrong. Now that Manuch is broken down from a player and coach perspective, we'll get it from a betting perspective next as Scott Spreitzer from DocSports.com will break it all down. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B out here at Wright Toyota here on Fox Sports 910.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
The 4-game winning streak for the Suns was halted last night by the Mavericks, who lost Luka Doncic early on to a mildly sprained left ankle. DeAndre Ayton in the defeat had 19 points and 20 boards. The Suns on the road in San Antonio tomorrow. College ball saw Arizona State fall in overtime at Washington, while Arizona snuck past Washington State by 5. The Oats will be in Anaheim tomorrow after riding a Nick Schmaltz hat trick to a shutout of the Blues. He was the voice of the NCAA men's basketball tournament for over 3 decades. The college hoops world mourning the death of Billy Packer. He passed away of kidney failure at age 82. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Horn penetrates, drives, lobs it down low to Washington, who slams it in. Warren Washington with the flush.
Sun Devil men's basketball returns to Desert Financial Arena to celebrate the program's Alumni Weekend. The action begins with Oregon State on Thursday, February 2nd, and continues with the Oregon Ducks on Saturday, February 4th. Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball, onward to victory.
Are you looking to get into the best shape of your life or looking to offer your son or daughter the best training in Arizona? Then listen up. Dan Manucci for the new Coco 5 Performance Center at Bell Bank Park in Mesa. The state-of-the-art Performance Center is a 25,000 square foot facility and is home to sports performance for teams, individuals, combine prep, and professional athletes. And now, the new home where I coach my quarterback. 80 yards of indoor turf and track along with an outside turf workout area, plus tons of squat and bench stations, along with world-class training equipment. And they have the best team of coaches in the Southwest led by Olympic gold medal winner Dan O'Brien. If you or your son or daughter are ready to take the next step by gaining more speed, agility, power, power or flexibility, then you need to check out the Cocoa 5 Performance Center at Bell Bank Park. Sign up by calling 480-572-0647, and one of their team members will create an individualized program specific to your needs. That's 480-572-0647 or online at legacyperformanceaz.com. For limited time, if you mention me, Nan Manucci, they'll give you your first session on me. That's legacyperformanceaz.com.
The Cal-Am Resort's second annual Legacy Classic is back at Bell Bank Park, January 20th through 22nd. This is the first leg of the 2023 Legacy Tournament Series, so make sure to register today. For more information, visit legacysportsusa.com/pickleball.
Get ready for the nothing but net action of college basketball on AZTV Channel 7. Every Monday and Saturday, we take you courtside for both men's and women's college hoops. AZTV Channel 7. Check out the schedule at aztv.com.
I'm Byron Brown, the anti-lawyer lawyer. When it comes to your personal injury case, I'm straight to the point. I'll answer your call. No BS.
Hey, this is Peter Schrager from the NFL Network's morning show, Good Morning Football. You've also seen me on NFL Sidelines and in studio for Fox Sports on Sunday. Well, I've got a new podcast with iHeart in the NFL, and we're calling it The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to empty my proverbial notebook and take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast.
It's time to say good night to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Time to break down this weekend's biggest games with one of the nation's premier handicappers. From DocSports.com and seen every week on ESPN's Sunday Countdown, he's Scott Spreitzer. And he's here to help make sure your picks pay out.
Guys are hot.
With Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910.
I got to open up my app. Got to open my app because it's an important weekend.
It's that time of the week.
And I wait until 2:30 every Friday for this opportunity to listen to Scott Spreitzer from DocSports.com. You can too. He joins us live from Las Vegas here on the Right Twitter guest line on Fox Sports 910. Scott, how's your Friday going?
Going all right, man. Just can't wait to get these games underway on Sunday and plenty of college basketball to keep me busy for about 38 hours until then.
Geez, yeah, that's true. There is so much
by the way,
basketball. On that note, do you dabble much with the Pac-12 when it comes to
I do.
basketball?
I absolutely do. And last night, if you had Arizona last night and you didn't get 4.5 and you had to lay 5, you're licking your wounds right now. They were up 8. I don't know if you guys saw the end. It's one of the tougher pushes that felt like a loss last night. They're up 8, closing seconds. They rush the ball down the court, leading by 8. They try a dunk for some reason. Guy misses the dunk. Washington State gets the rebound, fires up a so-called meaningless three-pointer at the buzzer, makes it, and a win becomes a push. Or for some people even, a loss if they got it late and laid 5.5. But yeah, I dabble, and as you can see, I watch them all. And I'm glued to the set. I've got to record games, watch games live, the whole thing. So,
Scott, how's Coach Tang and my K-State Wildcats treating you right now, ranked number 5 in the nation?
We kind of jumped on the bandwagon, later than I thought I would with this team. I didn't think they were going to be as good as they are, and we've had some nice success. I'm trying to think of who they're playing tomorrow now because I earmarked them as a possible play tomorrow. It's that SEC Big 12 thing going on tomorrow, and I'm just completely, with all these games, spacing off who they're playing. But I actually earmarked them the other day. Oh, they're playing Florida. And I actually earmarked them the other day that K-State might be a nice play-on spot on Saturday, which I'll jump more into a little bit later tonight. But your boys are laying 5.5 at home to the Florida Gators. I think that line's a little bit low.
Well, we're going to be a little upset because we lost to Iowa State the other night. That was not a good look. Guys, not making it happen. Johnson made it happen. So we're going to bounce back against those Florida Gators tomorrow night.
You hope. That was a tough spot against Iowa State, actually. Yeah. And Iowa State's a pretty good basketball team this year, but K-State had been taking care of business basically up until then. And just a tough spot. They didn't get beat badly. I think they bounce back tomorrow.
All right. This is your most important pick of the year. Okay, most important pick of the year. 49ers, Eagles. -2.5 Eagles. Let's go. Bring it. Let's go. Give me some love.
All right, guys.
Give me some love.
We give you some love. It's funny. I saw one book go to 3 last night. I was a little surprised that anybody went to 3 because I figured they'd get money bought back right away. And guess what? They got money bought back right away on San Francisco. So it's back to 2.5. And a lot of juice on the 2.5. They don't seem to want to go to 3. But listen, it's funny. Back on September 3rd, I was doing that VSiN preview show with the co-host Matt Humans, and we spent out of 3 hours of a preview show for the NFL. I think we probably spent 2 hours and 45 minutes talking about how much we like the Philadelphia Eagles this season. So it's nice that they came through for us and at least got to the NFC Championship game. The thing about Brock Purdy, it's tough to you're nitpicking when you're trying to find issues. So I'm going to nitpick for just a second.
Go ahead.
He's had two road games.
We can handle it.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it's nitpicking. I mean, you really got to look deep to find, this guy, anything negative about this guy. So he's played 2 road games. So I'll put that as a strike against him. And that's just with any rookie quarterback. The 2 defenses that he faced on the road were ranked 21st, the Seahawks, and 31st, the Raiders, in defensive DVOA. The Eagles ranked 6th in that category. They're number 1 against the pass, number 1 in defensive EPA dropback metrics. And basically what EPA dropback metrics are is how a quarterback passes on the run when he's got to create a little bit by time. Well, the Eagles are the number 1 defensive team against that. The average defense in that metric that Purdy has faced or did face before the Cowboys in his first 6 games was 21st in the NFL. Cowboys were ranked 6th. And it was the first time we saw any kind of struggle at all out of Purdy. And again, relatively speaking, when I say struggle, just that the offense only scored 4 field goals and a touchdown and 312 yards. They did enough, though, to win the football game, so that's obviously a credit. It's going to be interesting because I thought San Francisco's offensive line struggled last week against Dallas's defensive front, and now they face this Philly defense with 70 sacks. The next best sack unit has 55. They're 15 sacks above any other defense. So that'll be something that he's got to deal with. And, of course, Jalen Hurts, probably MVP, pair of 1,000-yard receivers, 1,000-yard rusher. Offense is so much more physical this year with guys like Dallas Goedert at tight end, being able to do his job in the run-blocking schemes. And then they're 9-2-1 against the spread as home chalk with Hurts, 7-0 as single-digit chalk with Hurts. Guys, I hate to have to say it, I laid the 2.5 with Philly. Purdy has done an amazing job. So has the coaching staff. McCaffrey's a little banged up. They got a couple of players. Elijah Mitchell didn't practice for 2 days. That's kind of why I went with the Eagles. I think they're going to be too tough up front when they could go after the passer. Having said that, their weakness is the ground game, the defense. And so San Francisco knows a thing or two about opening up some holes. So I think that's going to be the key to this game.
You seem somewhat hesitant on that. Is it a big play for you? Is it an average type play for you?
It's so far my only side or total of this weekend. It's above average. I think 2.5 is very fair. Obviously, again, it doesn't mean that that San Francisco can't come out and win this game. But the way the metrics line up, those defensive metrics, I thought, you know what, I got to lay the 2.5 here. Also, I think it's 14 of the last 18 conference championships have been won by the home team. So it does mean a lot to be at home in these games. And this is going to be Purdy's toughest test yet. And even if he loses they lose this game, I mean, this guy's future is crazy. And, again, I give you all the credit for the 16 or 17 touchdown passes. I don't know who to blame the 3 picks on, but I'll give you the credit for the 17 touchdown passes.
Well, Scott, I think when you add all that fuel to the fire and Walt Disney gets the script to make this movie, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great because they won't believe it. But when it's all come to Disney goes, damn, he did it. And that'll come out. I just wonder who's going to play me in that movie.
I think Rock should play.
Yeah, I would love that. That's a great call, Scott. Great call, Scott. I work on growing out that nose. I mean, I'll be good. Get the hairline going.
He's coming out to apply his own makeup. I can do that. All right, Bengals and Chiefs. Why isn't it just a pick, a -1 Chiefs? I mean, what caused us to go from a pick 'em early to 1.5? And now, last time I checked, Scotty, I think it's 1. Correct?
Yeah, there's even some 1.5 Kansas City popping up out there. And, since he's even been a favorite this week, just the news going back and forth on Patrick Mahomes. Is he going to be healthy?
Right.
Did he practice? Of course, yesterday they said that he practiced, full practice, not limited. And so then you saw the money start trickling in again on the Chiefs. This has been, I don't remember, seen sharp action on both sides almost evenly. Usually the Sharps will take one side or the other. You might see like a 75-25 split as far as Sharps on one side. This is like down the middle, 50-50. Sharps are on Cincinnati. Sharps are on Kansas City. It's back and forth. For me, this reminds me, we talked about Jalen Hurts in the first playoff game for the Eagles this postseason, when I was saying that this is great for in-game betting, because I think we're going to know in the first 15 minutes, the first quarter, whether Mahomes' ankle is bothering him a lot or not. Because if he's able to scramble and get out of the pocket, make those passes and buy time, that he's healthy. I'm not sure that he's going to be with that high ankle sprain. There's a prop out there, guys, by the way, that I wanted to throw at you. Is Isaiah Pacheco over 47.5 rushing yards. He's like, you got to lay about $1.35 on that one. He's been above that number in 9 of his last 10 games. He went above that number of 47.5 when they met Cincinnati the first time. So I think it's a situation, if Patrick Mahomes is a little banged up with that ankle, you're going to see more and more Pacheco rushing opportunities. He really rushed well last week in the win. I'm worried about Mahomes. If you remember that Super Bowl against Tampa Bay when the Bucs crushed him 31-9,
yes,
he had the ankle issue then, and he wasn't Patrick Mahomes. You know, he wasn't able to run, he wasn't able to pivot, make those passes with a lot of force behind him and intensity behind him, because he couldn't pivot on that foot. And if that's the case, I'll be hammered away inline betting pretty early in this game on Cincinnati. Thought there was a real interesting pass prop. The line for Patrick Mahomes passing yards opened 272.5. It's up to 281.5 based on the fact that they've been saying that he's been practicing, you know, to the fullest. Last week, his over-under was 30 yards higher against Jacksonville, but he only threw for 195 yards. He missed a quarter, of course. So we'll see, man. I just think it all really depends early on, and then we can make our move in-game betting on whether we want to be on KC or Cincy. I have a feeling those Cincy offensive line injuries might catch up to him a little bit against this defense.
What's the current over-under? Because I predicted a high-scoring game. I think
48.
Yeah, I think 31, 28, 34, 31, something like that. What is where's it at right now, Rock?
48, I think.
48.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Do you see
mostly
that as
48. Mostly 48, couple of 47.5. And I think that's a total that I'll be looking to play over,
Yeah.
you know, shortly into the game after we see Mahomes with at least 1 or 2 series under his belt in the first quarter. And then I think if he's fine or 90%, I think that's a high-scoring game too.
Hey, Scott, before we let you go, just real quick, the fact that we got 2 weeks between the Super Bowl, is there any advice you would give for, you know, betting on the Super Bowl, like, you know, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week? Because we won't have an opportunity to talk to you till Friday, and we'll talk a little bit about the game. But, you know, obviously the bigger play will be the following week. Is there any advice you give early stages of a big game like this?
Yeah, I'm kind of like against like a lot of people think, and everybody's got their own comfort zone.
Sure.
I usually on the Super Bowl, and you know, I bet like 95% of the Super Bowl since I've been doing this for basically 30 years. There have been a few that I passed on the side in total, but I usually wait. I like to wait 4 or 5 days. I like to see, you know, where the early action is going. Of course, the majority of the public action doesn't come in, and it starts coming in like the Friday night, 2 days before the Super Bowl. So we really won't see a whole lot of public action until late. But I kind of like to see where they're going to move the line, the early bets and that kind of stuff, and then make my plays based off of it. I used to be the other way in the NFL. I used to jump all over the lines right away. Now I play like 1 or 2 games on a Sunday night for the next week, and I found more success in just kind of letting people play around, move that line a little bit, and then when I see a line I like, I pounce on it. But I'll be waiting. I'll probably have my stuff done Thursday night, you know, the next week for the Super Bowl as far as the side or total, and then I'll jump into the props a little bit more after that.
Okay. There's just so much noise, so much chatter when it's 2 weeks, you know, you could get brainwashed, you know, at times.
Absolutely. So. I stay away as much as possible from listening to anybody. I really do.
Yeah.
And then what I'm also looking to do is, besides staying away from that, I like to give it a few days for things to settle down from what happened to the conference championships. Give it a few days. You start finding out who's got a few nicks and bruises and who's a little bit more beat up than what was first reported on Monday morning after the conference championships. So a lot of that goes into the mix. And again, people have different comfort zones. For me, I've been better in the NFL the last 7 or 8 years by letting lines get bumped around a little bit and then jumping in and having more information. You know, and again, I used to play them right out of the block. I mean, it'd be like 4 p.m. Pacific time Sunday for the next week. I'd be hammering NFL plays, and we did okay but not as good as we've done the last few years since I decided to wait a few days.
He's Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com. Follow him on Twitter at Scott Wins. Scott, have a good weekend. Thank you.
Take care, guys. Okay.
Scott Spreitzer joining us. We'll catch him next week. Make sure you're tomorrow. Tune in at 11 o'clock for the only local sports gambling show. It's what's it called? Take the Points. Yeah, it's still on the air. Take the Points, which is out there at the CAC Sports Bar with Bauer, Gross, and Jackson, 11 to 1. Tune in tomorrow or go out and see them. They got the sports book. You get your bets in tomorrow. Head over to the casino and in the showroom. Not the showroom, but the CAC Sports Bar. You can get in there and do your bets right on the kiosk, or go up to the what do you call those guys?
The guys in the book. I don't know.
What is it? What do you call those guys?
Not experts, but
they take your place your bets.
Yeah, bookie.
They're not bookies either.
They're not bookies. They place
I'm
your
sure
bet.
they got business cards. They probably have a job, right?
Just placing your bet.
All right, so you heard Manuch's clipboard report. You got the player-coach perspective. You got the professional handicapper in Scott Spreitzer. Now, the fan, the guy, the everyday guy, the guy that sits at a bar, has a Coors Light, maybe a couple Fireballs, and he's the guy that knows it all.
Just
right?
the average Joe Blow?
That's Smalley time. That's next with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
This is The Herd. Attention listeners. With Colin Cowherd.
Sean Payton was impressed with the Broncos during his interview Monday, and the Broncos, he is their number one candidate. Sean, I know, can fix it, and Russell Wilson has contacted Sean, legally, by the way, through channels. He wants Sean Payton.
This is The Herd.
Monday at 10. Tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Shopping for a mortgage? Big banks can be a big hassle. Call GC Global Capital and work with a local team of mortgage experts for great rates and lower fees, more options, and faster closings. Don't let your dream home purchase turn into a nightmare. Call the professionals at GC Global Capital, 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital, your local mortgage professionals. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker, NMLS 1091187, license MB 0924983, an equal opportunity lender.
Arizona's largest locally owned A-plus BBB rated towing company is All City Towing. They're always looking to add motivated and competitive team members. Do you fit the bill? If so, head on over to allcitytowing.com/careers for more information.
Bo knows where to watch the big game. Talking Stick Resort. Join Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as they host the big game viewing party with special guests Bo Jackson and Doug Flutie. Get your tickets now, just $25 at Ticketmaster.com. It's the big game viewing party at Talking Stick Resort.
Duke Sports Grill on Miller and McDowell. 12 pool tables and 3 shuffleboard tables.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Coldest draft beer in town.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
3 patios right on the greenbelt. 1 non-smoking.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
More than 60 TVs playing your favorite sports.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Saturdays and Sundays, build your own Bloody Mary bar.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Where Duke's? Where Duke's? Miller and McDowell. Scottsdale.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language? In as little as 3 weeks, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Yeah, he's already on the phone line.
Let's get the juice.
Hey, you want some juice?
It's Smalley time. His pick of the week, powered by Langer's Juice. Available at your local grocer.
I go in the kitchen, I get some juice. You want some juice?
It's in the juice.
You guys are hot.
All right, it's the return. It's taken us all season.
It's about damn time, Rock.
Got us to the AFC-NFC Championship. We bring on Sean Smalley. Smalley time. As we got the coach-player perspective. We got the handicap perspective from the handicapper in Las Vegas. Now, the everyday Joe, the guy that sits at the bar, that seems to think he knows everything. You know, he's got a bunch of Coors Lights in him, maybe occasional Fireball or two.
Ooh, Fireball.
And then they think they know it all.
Oh, yeah.
So that leads us to Smalley time. Smalley, Roc and Manuch. What's up,
Smalley?
I'm doing good.
That's
Just watching a little golf.
You watch?
But I guess we're football.
Yeah, we're going to talk some football. Yeah, I mean, we're thinking about talking about the 49er and Philly game.
There's this thing called the conference championship.
But if you really want to talk about who's going to win at Torrey Pines, I mean, we could go down that road if you're more comfortable.
No, football. Cowboys are still in it, right?
No, Cowboys, no, they're out. No.
Yeah, Dak Prescott let him down again. Yeah.
I heard his name's become Press Chop, like Chop Chop.
Press Chop. Okay, that works.
That's a new one.
Chop.
So, hey, Small, you being a local guy, superstar there at Phoenix Community College back in the day, you must love the fact that Brock Purdy's a local kid who got to the next level.
Absolutely. I think that's awesome. Thanks to Dan. Now he's the king of the gurus of the quarterbacks.
Thank you, Smile. I appreciate that. Checks in the mail as of about an hour.
I don't know about that. All right, so with this game, all right, I'm an Eagles fan. Manuch is obviously a 49er fan all of a sudden.
Absolutely.
Him and I got a side bet. Whoever loses has to wash the other guy's car. Who do you like in this game?
Well, I think defense wins championships, and I'm going to go with the 49ers on this.
What kind of score?
20-17.
So just a field goal.
Robbie Gould gets home.
So Robbie Gould, field goal, game over.
Low scoring game.
And then how about the Chiefs and the Bengals? Who do you like in that one?
Smoking Joe Burrow.
Kind of score in that one?
35-21.
35-21. Just out of curiosity, as you are doing this interview with us right now, do you have any fans around you? Are you is there anybody there, that's maybe just kind of holding your hand and feeding you this information?
Nah, well, I've got Tom Goose. He's the guru of Fireball.
Oh,
the actual Fireball guru, huh?
Yeah, he's got sweaters, underwear, hats, umbrellas, everything.
So, do we need to get ready? We need to get a new sponsor for the segment. I mean, no more Langer's juice, and go with the Fireball.
No, hey,
no,
we don't have any relationship with this Fireball company.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
What about the news this week that there's this Fireball out there? They're being sued because it's not actual whiskey. What's that all about?
That's what I'm afraid of. They'll cut our whole deal.
You got to take care of that, Smalley. You got to make sure you take care of that bad boy.
That's right.
Well, Smalley, this is probably the best segment in radio right now.
Yeah.
So we're going to end on a high note. So,
all right.
So good luck with your picks. And I think they're all going to be wrong, at least in my opinion.
I do keep seeing you guys pop up in like restaurants around town. A bunch of cartoon characters on a thing.
Yes. Or
some screen in the rooms. What's that all about?
Well, we shoot it straight. I mean, that's what those ads are in the bathrooms.
Right.
So advertise. So it works.
Yeah, I noticed.
You've seen it, so that must be working.
It's working.
All right, good. So that ends this interview on a good
Smalley,
note.
does it make you want to go back to the bathroom more so? Does Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B shooting it straight?
Well, it kind of reminded me of a cartoon show, so not really.
Well, Smalley, thanks for improving the program, buddy. All right.
Way to bring it, man.
Yeah, way to bring it.
Way to bring
it, buddy.
To you guys.
Have a good weekend. That's Smalley. Sean Smalley.
I wonder how many shots of.
I'm glad we get paid to do that.
Yeah,
That is just
Man, a few words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very few words.
Yeah, I mean how many fireballs he's had.
And the thing is he's had a whole week
to prepare
with the guys around him at the bar.
Yeah.
To prepare for the segment.
Yeah,
he knows what he's going to get asked.
I'm surprised we asked those questions quickly, so nod off in between the answers. For crying out loud! I mean, are we keeping you awake, Smalley? I mean, is this nap time for him, Rock, around the 3 o'clock hour?
No, this is go time. This is when it all gets started.
2 minutes.
This is when he's peaking right
Could
now.
have fooled me. I think he should be a little Starbucks coffee to get him going again.
I don't know if Fireball,
that should
slows
get
you down
going
a little bit,
or
get you up. I'm not
gets
sure.
you fired up initially, and then later on you sleep very, very good.
Well, that was Smalley time. So thanks for allowing us to
indulge,
waste about 7 minutes of our day on Smalley.
Well, that's
time.
the guy that knows it all. That's the average Joe Blow.
And if he comes in, what if his score's hit? Like, what if he's right on with the score 2017 with the 49ers, and then same thing with Joe Burrow and the Bengals if that all comes in. Because unfortunately, if they do come in, we have to bring them back.
Damn. Okay.
But I don't think we'll bring them back because it's going to be Eagles Chiefs.
Yeah, but maybe.
You're right.
Maybe I said maybe I have something to say.
You and Jimmy B.
No.
You said like Jimmy B always says.
If it happens, you finish my sentence. Yeah, if that happens, we'll bring him back to figure out why.
It's like an affirmation thing. That's why. I think that's why you say it.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, if they win, we have to bring him back to understand why the 49ers lost and why the Chiefs won.
I said it's going to be Eagles, Chiefs, as you said,
I said,
That's all I heard. Selective hearing. That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah, we bring Smalley back to understand why that happened.
I will tell you, if the 49ers were there and Brock Purdy was not the quarterback, you would be siding with the Eagles.
Oh, because if Jimmy G was a quarterback, I'd still be going with the 49ers.
Oh, come on.
I mean, this is the third out of the four.
Are you drinking the same thing Smalley's drinking?
No fireballs around here at the set of Wright Toyota. I think that's an FAA violation, by the way.
Hey, Jackson has our, what do you call that? The rewind.
10-minute chain back.
And then we also have our Lerner Rowe segment and Sean Southburn.
Make plans for the big one Sunday, February.
All right, go for it, man. Well, whenever you're ready. Just go for it whenever you're ready. I'm going to grab Jax's stuff. Thanks, Manuch.
Go farther and faster with the new G430 Woods and irons from Ping. The Ping G430 Woods introduce the next generation of speed with new face technology
that's good, man. I can send it to you.
more accurate shots. The new Ping G430 irons are designed with pure flex technology for faster ball speed and more distance. Swing into Vans Golf Shops and get custom fit on the new Ping G430 Woods and irons today. Vans Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
The check is good, the experience is smooth, and the reviews online are wonderful at GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910.
By Sunday evening, we'll know which two teams will be making their way to Glendale for the Super Bowl on February 12th. Up first Sunday will be the NFC Championship game with Kyle Shanahan leading the Niners as they visit the Eagles.
You try to put guys in position to beat their players, and they got pretty good players too. And on top of it, when you have a real good pass rush with good back end with all 7 of those guys, it just combines for making everything more difficult.
That's followed by the AFC title game in KC with the Chiefs entertaining the Bengals. ASU men's hoops will look to bounce back tomorrow against Washington State while Arizona calls on Washington. Up Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeart radio app.
Now's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Pay. That's pay. Enter it now at foxsports910.com.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down to around 36 degrees. And then for your Saturday, mid-60s with plenty of sun. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has $2 grilled chicken burritos that come in 2 bold flavors, Chipotle Ranch and Salsa Verde. They're bursting with grilled chicken and delicious sauces. Get your $2 grilled chicken burrito at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. While supplies last. I'm just going in order of
vary. Tax extra.
How long does this normally take you to make?
All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorney, Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On
guys are hot.
Sports 910.
All right, let's get right to it. We're out here at Wright Toyota. It's a Friday. We're here every Friday. This hour is brought to you by the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona, the home of the big game viewing party, which will actually be in the showroom with Jax, Bauer, and Gross, myself, Manuch, and Jimmy B. We will be out at Talking Stick Resort. Everything's up on our website at Roc and Manuch. As much different than years past, especially what we are doing at the Talking Stick Resort, is there's a cover charge of $25 in advance, $35 at the door, and you can get tickets at Ticketmaster.com. And then we invited a couple of our buddies, Bo Jackson and Doug Flutie will be there too.
Just a couple dudes,
yeah. So we'll do a Q&A. They will be our buddies afterwards. Yeah, they will. I can promise you that. Manuch is going to do this whole thing. What's funny about Manuch when he's around other athletes, he has to, I played quarterback at, for the Buffalo
That's
Bills.
the first thing.
And then he just talks their ear off.
They already know my prowess as a quarterback.
No, Doug Flutie has no clue.
He's a former Buffalo Bill quarterback. He knows the lineage of quarterbacks.
No, it's not like he's not on Wikipedia looking up every quarterback that played for Buffalo.
Dan Manucci is known in Buffalo in the annals of the Buffalo Bills lineage of quarterbacks.
You guys got to record this so I can watch and see what questions Manuch asks.
Oh, it's all going to be up on the screen. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm interested to talk to Bo Jackson. I mean,
yeah, me too.
That'll be a lot of fun.
We'll have Sean Salisbury, speaking of quarterbacks, will join us at the bottom of the hour. Kevin Rowe here in just a few minutes after this with Jax.
In case you missed this week of Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, our fine rookie Jackson Groff has you covered.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for.
Jack puts it all together. The best, the worst, and in his mind, the funniest moments from this week's shows. This is Jax's Rewind exclusively on Fox Sports 910.
Yes, it is the Jax Rewind, and usually we highlight Manuch on every single one of these because, Manuch is always, the ugliest one or the funniest moments, depending on what we're doing. But this one we're highlighting Jimmy B, and we mentioned this every week about his tendencies to have side comments. This is something that it's not going to change. It's been a habit of his, and I'm kind of on both sides. Is it affirmation? Is it a habit that maybe Roc doesn't like, that maybe it's just affirmation, or who knows? But Here's 2 examples from this week of Rock and Jimmy B just butting heads about this side comment scenario.
I think the hardest part is just Travis Kelce for Kansas City is just unbelievable. There's no tight end in the history that has ever had a playoff streak like he does.
That's correct.
I mean, what is that streak? That's correct.
That's correct. What you just said. His streak.
He's just reiterating what you were saying there, Rock. So we had a Larry Fitzgerald, Robert Sarver sighting.
Yes.
How do you know? Yes.
Because I saw the photo.
Where'd you see it?
On Twitter.
How do you always you just want to just?
Why do you step on his
step on all my stories?
I don't.
Do I need to do we need to have a bring in the program director and say only answer when you are called upon? Raise your hand.
I'll raise my hand.
I mean, yes. Hey.
That's all I said.
Yes. Take a limber down the road.
Oh,
hey.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see it. Build it up. Robert Sarver. Let me build it up.
He's just letting you know, Rock.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me drop this on you.
You were so funny, like, oh, you know the story?
Well, no, I saw. I mean, why even do the story? He knows it already. It's like then you tell the story.
Oh, that's funny. That is true. It can be annoying. He should just be quiet and let you finish his thoughts. But another segment from the week.
Yeah,
it was a hot dog segment, which was on Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe, and it was talking about Hormel has created the new chili cheese beer, and Manuch and Jimmy talked about the proper etiquette of eating a hot dog. Here's a minute 45. It's a long clip.
Oh, please.
It's hilarious.
It can't be.
I thought it was funny. Here is
great stuff, Rock.
Here's the segment.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry, between that and the foot-long wiener, I lost it in this.
I didn't know there was any kind of etiquette in eating a hot dog.
Yeah.
Unless it's a foot-long wiener, then you can, 7 bites. Let me ask you, when's the last time you had a really good hot dog, a brats, or kielbasa sausage on a bun?
Always that when I go to the baseball game, I always get one.
Okay, so when's the last time? Last time you do it?
Last year when I went to the Diamondbacks game.
Okay, so you get the brats, you get the hot dog.
No, I'm a dog guy.
You dog guy?
Yeah.
I like the brats.
I can't do the foot long.
Well, that's that bad boy. And you get 7 bites. Don't eat it 5 bites. I think that I love a good brats.
Okay.
And I like a good Polish sausage.
Okay.
You put that ketchup. You put the mustard.
How many bites on the Polish sausage?
Oh, man. I'm knocking that bad boy out. At least 6. Proper etiquette.
Are we really having this discussion?
Here's the thing,
radio?
Jimmy. You got a hot dog and a new chili cheese beer. So if you do a chili cheese dog with a chili cheese beer, you will get your quota of chili cheese, hot dog, and beer for the next 5 years.
So if you get the big wiener
and
the Hormel chili cheese brew.
Absolutely, man.
All right, you know that you're safe because you're already in a recliner.
That's right.
So you're safe.
Home.
You're home. You're in the recliner. You're safe.
And you will satisfy your munchies with a new chili cheese beer without having the hot dog. So that's this information on Rock and Manuch and Jimmy B.
Could you imagine being a listener, scrolling through the radio?
You just,
honey, I want to listen to something different, maybe some new sports talk radio, and you hear wiener for 9:10 a.m.
Foot-long 7 bites in the wiener.
Yeah, foot-long wiener. Oh, my gosh. That'll definitely get listeners coming back. Well, for our frequent listeners, every Thursday for the last 21 weeks, we do a special segment where us 5, myself, Manuch, Rock, Jimmy B, Ben, / Richie, I guess, select a 3 or more point underdog each weekend. Well, I don't know if Jimmy B decided he wanted to do his own rules or make men's with Rock for what happened earlier in the show, but he decided to take his matters into his own hands. Here's this clip.
Well, look at. I know Rock didn't take his hometown team, and I understand that perfectly. But I'm going to take the hometown team and the Philadelphia Eagles, and I expect them to cover the 2.5.
Well, you're supposed to take an underdog.
I don't want to.
But the rule of the game is
underdog. Take the Eagles.
You can't. It's underdog.
Oh, golly.
Thanks.
All right.
We've been doing this for 21 weeks.
I wanted to take the Eagles.
21.
Underdog. I get it. All right. I'll go Bengals, and I'll get the 1.
When Jimmy not getting his way.
It's our underdog pick of the week, and he goes to the favorite.
Because you didn't take the underdog, because the Eagles aren't the underdog. Oh, God bless him.
Well, yesterday was the reborn of Quick Draw Manuch
Yeah,
on yesterday's show. And for those who missed it, the full video of the segment is on our YouTube page at Roc and Manuch. But this was probably one of the best snippets from that segment. Manuch and Jimmy B went head to head.
Snippets or snippets? Snippets.
Snippet, either or. Probably the dumbest answers from both of them that made Rock a little queasy. Here is the Coolness Casserole clip.
Name something you would bring to a party starting with the letter C. Coolness. Casserole. Coolness and casserole.
Yeah, the party.
I hate them both. I do too. I was looking like Chardonnay, Coors Light, something. When was the last time you went to a party and brought casserole?
Yeah. I went to we call it potluck.
That's not a party.
When I show up at the party, then it becomes cool.
None of them are getting it.
But did you get invited to any parties in college or anything like that?
All the time.
And you brought casserole?
Well, I mean, if it
You
was
didn't bring like chips,
I would do
Coors Light,
Yeah, I guess we should designate. I kind of got caught up in that.
Chardonnay even.
Well, I used to bring
Cabernet.
the box one that starts with a B. But
3 minutes.
Yeah, if it was a potluck versus a party, I kind of was thinking potluck and casserole many years ago. Many years ago.
Well, this next clip, it was talked about briefly during the week. And Rock, I want you to elaborate more on what happened with your experience with Don'tDateThatGuy.com. Here's a little teaser of it, but I want to hear your explanation of this.
I was on a website, Don'tDateThatGuy.com. Remember that one? I remember that one. Channel 3 did a piece on me on Valentine's Day. I remember Don'tDateThatGuy.com. Yeah, I remember my ex, whoever it was, one of my exes decided to put me on that website. Yeah, so it was Valentine's Day probably 15 years ago.
Classic.
And the Channel 3 producer says, hey, your name is on this website. The website was called Don'tDateThatGuy.com. Or this guy, whatever it was, Don'tDateThatGuy.com. And they interviewed me. They came to my office, did the silhouette deal, changed my voice, and asked me questions on who this person was. And I had no clue who it was, to the point where I went and I registered on the website with an alias, with a fake email, girl's name, just to say, hey, this guy did the same thing to me. When was it? When did he do it? Trying to piece it together to find out who it was. Oh my God. But I never got anywhere with it. Yeah, don't date that guy. They ran the piece on Channel 3 on Valentine's Day.
Who the hell?
There were other people on it, I just want to say, but they just happened to find me.
Who the hell did you upset that bad, Rob?
Oh, I know who it is now, but
my goodness. I mean,
but at the time, the person doesn't no longer live in the state. But yeah, it was bad.
Did you do it via text, email, or voicemail?
She just got upset. Normally text, but it just didn't. We didn't see eye to eye, and I just went the other way.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing
She
wrong
doesn't
with
have
that.
to go on its own website and let the world know. This is before Facebook got real popular. There was no Instagram. There was no Twitter.
Could you imagine if it happened now?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
It's okay, Rock. I think you're a good guy.
Thank you.
I think you're a good guy, too, Rock.
I have no problem with it. I had no problem with that either. I am who I am. Whatever. You don't like it, don't date me.
Exactly.
Well, damn it. I'm Gumby, damn it.
Well, that is the Jack's Rewind of this week. There was a lot of segment, a lot of clips, a lot of funny moments.
Good job, Jack. Sean Salisbury is going to join us in 15 minutes, but Kevin Rose next. Like to compete against Kevin for a $50 Visa gift card. It's our Learn and Row over-under contest for this week. So we'll have four questions for you that have to do with this week's games, and it's both games, and we'll take your information off the air. And if you beat Kevin, you will win a $50 Visa gift card. 602-260-9191. It's funny, I almost gave Kevin's cell phone out right there. I saw that in the lineup. 480-59. All right, we'll come back. We're at Right Toyota. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Hey, Rock, hang back. Let's cut a new teaser.
Join me, Jody Ayler, and Fox Sports 910 for the 23rd annual Celebrity.
Give me 1 second to change
So for heating service and repair, make the precision decision today and call us at 602-FIX-MY-AC.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
The football postseason is here, and you can still win Twin Peaks Man Cards just by playing Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's weekly Fan Pick'em contest. Head to fanpick'em.com and get in your weekly picks for your chance at weekly Man Cards. Thanks to Twin Peaks, Coors Light, and Blue Moon. Don't forget to stop by one of the 4 Valley Twin Peaks locations to watch all the playoff action.
Are you looking to get into the best shape of your life or looking to offer your son or daughter the best training in Arizona? Then listen up. Dan Manucci for the new Cocoa 5 Performance Center at Bell Bank Park in Mesa. The state-of-the-art performance center is a 25,000 square foot facility and is home to sports performance for teams, individuals, combine prep, and professional athletes. And now, the new home where I coach my quarterback. 80 yards of indoor turf and track along with an outside turf workout area, plus tons of squat and bench stations, along with world-class training equipment. And they have the best team of coaches in the Southwest led by Olympic gold medal winner Dan O'Brien. If you or your son or daughter are ready to take the next step by gaining more power flexibility, then you need to check out the Cocoa 5 Performance Center at Bell Bank Park. Sign up by calling 480-572-0647.
You guys right there.
Team members will create an individualized program specific to your needs. That's 480-572-0647. You put us in a queue, bud?
Yeah, you got 2 minutes. If Rock's right there, can you have him recut that tease? My Adobe Audition crashed on me.
All right, I'm ready when you are.
Ready, thanks.
Presented by AutoZone.
ASU tips off against Washington State tomorrow, looking to snap their 3-game skid. Arizona will meet the Huskies tomorrow in men's hoops. The Coyotes will skate against the Ducks in Anaheim tomorrow, and the Suns also in action tomorrow, back on the road in San Antonio to tip off against the Spurs. Sunday, the road to the Super Bowl continues. The Niners will play for the NFC Championship against the Eagles in Philadelphia. The Chiefs host the Bengals for the AFC crown. I'm Frank Arity.
It's time to say good night to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Time to challenge the defender. Attorney Kevin Rowe from Arizona's top full-service law firm, Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And Lerner and Rowe, no fees unless...
All right, you guys are hot.
Now, Counselor Kevin Rowe with Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910.
All right, this Friday he is competing against David in Tempe. As the Counselor Kevin Rowe joins us now on the Right Total Guest Line. How we doing, Kev?
Rock, how you doing, bud?
I know where he's going.
Surprised to hear you, is he, Rock?
Well,
Good to hear you, Rock.
it was so good that you showed up at our board meeting today for our golf event. I mean, man, it's good to hear you, buddy.
See, I got the call. There's a real, as you know, Lerner Rowe is like a huge partner out at Bellbank Park. And this weekend, Major League Pickleball was there, and Larry Fitzgerald and Drew Brees needed some assistance in my backyard there. So I was called upon to be there this morning at Bellbank Park.
I heard he volunteered for that.
So
Kevin.
I mean, sometimes they call, and if all of a sudden if Messi was here that wants to play on your soccer field, I'd have to go, right? I mean,
I just love that you name drop those names and think they're more important than our 10th annual Lerner Rowe Gift Stack event that we're going to raise $1 million to help others in the community, Rock. But
did you ever think, though, Kev? Kev, did you ever think that if I'm out there and I'm talking to Larry Fitzgerald, who is actually a part owner of the Suns, he's a part owner of the Arizona Drive, which is the pickleball team, they may want to, maybe have a hole they can sponsor. I mean, yeah, I'm always working for the board. Always.
That marketing hat was on, Kevin.
Okay, but hold on. He said May, maybe, May. I didn't hear anything. Rock, did you do
Dude, we're not in court.
Really?
We're not in court. We're not in court.
He insinuated.
That's so funny how an attorney, they listen for those words.
They break the words.
Right? Is that how it works? Did you learn that at Washington? Is that how they teach you? Or law school, they say, all right, you got to listen to the specific words someone says.
Well, of course you got to listen to words, Rock, because that's what we do. We as people listen to each other's words. And all I heard is a bunch of maybe, could, may, could. I heard nothing. What you should be doing, Rock, is I don't know if you're aware of this, but Larry Fitzgerald's also part owner of that new hotel that's going in, the Ambassador. Maybe they need to donate some money to us over there. Maybe they can donate some rooms, or maybe the food that Sam Fox, he's also a partner of that, who's putting in 4 new restaurants over there. G-Rock, if you're going to actually be there and act like you're going to do work, then at least know what the people actually have so you can get something from them.
But at the same time, Kevin, I don't want to pat myself on the shoulder. I do my, it's how I do my work. I don't want to, be on the radio telling everybody how, I just closed the deal with Larry Fitzgerald. I wouldn't want to do that.
Counselor, did you say did you say people actually listen when you said that to Rock? Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah. Here's the funniest thing, Manuch. The funniest thing is that I just heard that he doesn't want to spend all that time on the radio. Look, Rock, it'd be the shortest segment you guys have ever had.
All right, speaking of that, it's our over-under contest with Kevin Rowe, of course, from Lerner Rowe and LernerRoweGivesBack.com. 10-year anniversaries coming up for the golf tournament at the end of April. All right, first question. Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts will have a combined total of over-under 350 yards passing. Over-under 350 yards
total.
Total.
Yeah, total, combined. So It's interesting. So if you read, and I'll be saying this, I think, through this whole little segment we're doing, but if you read what everybody's putting out there, they think this is going to be the worst game for our man, Mr. Relevant, Manuch. We call him Mr. Relevant
Exactly.
now.
I do too.
That would be for Mr. Relevant. They are saying that he is not going to do well. He's going to have 2 picks. His career is going to end right here. It's going to be the 12-game slate. It's going to stop here that the 49ers are on. And that Jalen Hurts is going to have 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. If you read, that's what they're saying. So I think this is relatively easy. I'm going to go with the over because I can tell you this. Faith, family, and football, Brock Purdy is going to have a great game. Maybe Jalen Hurts will have a decent game, but Brock's going to come to play because there's not any stage that is too big for him. I'm not worried about your Philly fans, Rock, just so we're clear.
All right. David is also going with the over.
And I think it's great, Counsel, because let's just keep giving more material when the movie's made of the story of one Brock Purdy, because folks won't believe it when it comes out, because I'm looking for somebody to play me, and I'm sure they'll find somebody to play you in that movie as well, too, correct?
You should. Maybe Brad Pitt, although he may be a little too small. Maybe that's for Glenn.
All right, number 2, Christian McCaffrey will have a combined over or under 125 yards of total offense, rushing and receiving. Over or under 125 yards combined for one CMC of the 49ers.
3 minutes.
Yeah, so there you go again, right? we're back in the same conversation that we just had. And I think, look, first of all, I think Philly plays a soft D on the run. So I think McCaffrey's going to have a great time with the ball on the ground. And I think he's going to catch some of these great screens and all the fun stuff that Roc likes to give him. So I'm going with the over.
All right, he's also going with the over. All right, there will be a combined over under 500 yards of total offense in the Chiefs-Bengals game, Kev. 500.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Until you recognize the two quarterbacks that are playing this game. Mm-hmm. So, it's a lot of yardage, but I'm going to tell you, you got a grudge match coming in. You have one individual that has just been dominated. I mean, I think they're calling it Burrowhead.
Yes.
They're not as big as Arrowhead. Mm-hmm. So, you're going to see an offensive powerhouse going on here, I think, but from both sides. So, once again, why don't we stick with the trend and go over?
And David's got what?
Under. I think 500. I agree with that. I think it's way too much.
All right, Counselor. Winner and score of the 49ers at Eagles game. Winner and score. 49ers, Eagles. What do you got?
So I know Roc, and what he's going to be going with over here is that he's going to stick with everybody else. Every sports writer, every commentary has all been Eagles. I'm just tired of it. So I'm sticking with my man, Brock Purdy. I'm sticking with him. I think it's going to be a close game. So I'm going to go with 23-20 49ers.
Rock, what's David got from Tempe?
Why wouldn't he? E-L-E-X. E-L-E. He's going 34-21 Eagles.
And so I'm like, okay, we're got ESPN here at the screen right to it. 99 panelists. I think 98 or 99 took the Eagles. Bring it on. Just bring it on. The Niners are just happy to be there, right? They're just happy to be there. And Brock is still, he's in diapers, and he can't do much of anything against this Eagles defense. Please, as your boy Bill Wallace said, please, people.
See you this morning.
1 minute.
It was good seeing you, bud. Thanks, man. Thanks for everything and all you do for everybody else in the community. I put a little bet on Brock Purdy, but since no one listens to this radio station, it's okay. I put a little bet out there, plus 8,500 for 2 touchdowns. Come on.
Absolutely.
Stop throwing them.
I like that.
I may do that.
Someone listens into the wind, drive the ball into the wind. I'm going to remind him about that as well, too. So
yeah.
Turn through it.
Get all the information about the 10th annual tournament that we're hosting coming up at the end of April at McCormick Ranch. It is going to be over the top, biggest ever, 300 plus golfers. It always sells out, so you got to get your tickets now as well. If you'd like to do a donation, be part of the tournament in another way, we can help you there too. So that's LorenRoGivesBack.com. Coming up, Sean Salisbury will join us, and we'll get his thoughts on the game as well as his thoughts on who may be the next head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Behold, here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
The Suns had a chance to put away a Mavericks team who lost their superstar Luka Doncic early on, but they fell short seeing their 4-game winning streak, and they'll call on the Spurs tomorrow. 4 Diamondbacks prospects have made MLB Pipeline's top 100 for 2023. Corbin Carroll, Jordan Lawler, Drew Jones, and Brandon Pfaadt. ASU hockey tonight as they host the University of St. Thomas. Catch all the action right here. Kyler Murray on Instagram today posted a picture of himself looking rather gloomy, sitting on a trainer's table with his surgically repaired right knee bandaged. He's expected to miss all of off-season camp. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the My Guy Referrals Weather Center. Visit myguy.com for 5-star local referrals. Make My Guy your guy.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down to around 36 degrees, and then for your Saturday, mid-60s with plenty of sun. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips, whatever you need. There's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Attention grillers. Is it time to replace that old grill in your backyard? Need to step up your game? Your chance to win a new one is right now. Just text PEAKS to 55678. That's PEAKS 55678. And you will be entered to win a customized backyard grill patio set, courtesy of Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. You can enter once a day. Standard message and data rates apply. That's PEAKS to 55678.
Holiday bills bringing you down? Global Capital makes it easier for you. Start 2023 on the right track. Call professionals at GC Global Capital, 480-397-9300 to see if their debt consolidation home loan program can benefit you. They save their clients tons of cash each month with their valuable refinancing programs. Your home is your most valuable asset. Why work with anyone else? Call GC Global Capital, 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital, your gift for the holidays. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker, NMLS 1091187. License NB 0924893 and equal opportunity lender.
Are you looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a company match, and a company that's in the industry, apply on careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider, locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
4 NFL teams, 2 conference championship games, and only a few more shots to win big on the playoffs with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Counting down to Super Bowl 57, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Not a new customer? You can feel the conference championship thrills with stepped-up same-game parlays. Take your shot at an even bigger NFL payout and boost your winnings with each leg you add up to 100%. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 910. New customers can bet $5 on the conference championships and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's code 910 only at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus issued as free bets, 1 boost per eligible game. Opt-in required, 10-plus leg required for 100% boost. Deposit, parlay, and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
It's time to say good night to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Sean Salisbury goes unfiltered with Roc and Manuch, now on Fox Sports 910.
That's right, join us down the Wright Toyota guest line, Roc and Manuch, here at Wright Toyota. How are we making out today, Sean? What's happening?
Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing well, too. We are in the same boat you are in Houston, trying to get a head coach. And I think it's kind of, we're all trying to figure it out. Frank Reich was the guy that we were hoping that maybe would come here, and everybody would think Sean Payton's going to come to their place too. But have you guys do you have an inside track on who Houston may get? Because obviously that may affect what happens here in Arizona.
I think it's down to 2 guys. The long shot was Sean Payton has always been a long shot, but maybe Mike Kappa, who I think is going to be really good at some point, but maybe it's a year early. But I think it's going to be D'Amico Ryans or Jonathan Gannon, both young defensive coordinators, both in the semifinals here in the NFC Championship game. And D'Amico's got relation. He played here, and they interviewed Jonathan Gannon a couple times last year as well when they were looking for him. So they're young, innovative. Somebody's going to be around a while. The key is if they want. And D'Amico Ryans is a fan favorite here because because of having played here in Houston. But with Denver wanting him, that's obviously a better current roster, a top 5 caliber defense and good receivers, and they want him too. and they've got a quarterback, and then you've got to find if you can turn Russ Wilson from this year into Luis Closer, the previous version of Russ Wilson. So that's a better roster that'll win now with a defense to get, obviously emulate his defense, but there's a lot of young players here, and he's assets and a lot of salary capital. And so pressure going quick here. Pressure going quick here. I'm going to say defensive coordinator for it.
Sean, when you look at Sean Payton in reference to how he can change the culture, he can flip the Titanic in a shorter amount of time. I think for the Arizona Cardinals, or maybe a team like Denver just needs a little something here and there. But for the Cardinals, I mean, he's a quasi-generational change for a coach to make them relevant for many, many years. But do you give up that top draft choice and back the Brinks truck up for him?
Yeah, and the question he asked, I asked that here too, Manuch, about him here in Houston. And I'll ask this to you. And here's the way it was pretty simple for me, at least in this one part, with Sean Payton. If the 12th pick for us, it would have been the 12th. They have the 12th pick and the second pick. So let's just say that New Orleans, who really doesn't have to do much, they hold the cards here. They don't have to do squat. But let's say they were holding people hostage and saying, we'll tell you it's a first-round pick. You're going to give us a first round and a third round or what have you. And then they wanted the 12th pick here and then the Arizona Cardinals pick somewhere in the first round or maybe next year's first rounder. Mm-hmm. You got to ask yourself this. For the 12th pick of the draft 5 years from now, who will have impacted the franchise more? Sean Payton or the 12th pick of the draft? And since the quarterback wouldn't be 12th here, I would say Sean Payton's going to impact the team more.
Sure.
Because he's going to impact the full roster unless you run into the 12th pick of the draft who's in 4 Pro Bowls. So when it comes to that, but I think whether it's Arizona or here, the red tape you got to go through, and part of it's power. There's going to be a power struggle because he wants his own guy, and you guys have already hired a GM, and they have one here. That's a problem. 2 is, does he bring certain guys in? His coordinators, obviously, they're going to be expensive. He's going to command about $20 million a year, and it's going to be for, 6 to 8 years. So you're talking... Yeah. $160 million, $150 million bucks. All those things, is it worth it, or do you roll with somebody else who's got a good reputation and it's going to cost half that, and you're not going to have to give up an asset? That's the question you got to ask. I think Sean Payton, if it doesn't go perfect, he's going to wait and come back next year and let Arizona, something like that, clear some space for him.
Sean Salisbury, Roc and Manuch here on Fox Sports 910. Sean, we had a discussion earlier on the show. It's sensitive, and it has to do with the Rooney Rule. And I posed the question, and I basically said to Manuch, I said, do you think there's a number or a percentage that needs to be reached to stop the conversation about the Rooney Rule and having enough, black coaches or minority coaches? 32 coaches out there. If you hit 16, you're halfway there. Is that all right, or it'll never be enough?
I don't think it's going away anytime soon. And the thing about it is, as far as the Rooney Rule for hiring practices, the key is we got to even go deeper than that. You got to start hiring. The coordinators, move them up to where they go from their position coach to coordinators. It seems that we have more defensive coordinators that are African-American than African-American offensive coordinators. Now, Byron left, which was one, but you got to give them, the same with front offices. They've got to go through, so you give them a chance. We got to put them in positions of have an opportunity to run organizations, and people that are running organizations are coaches to hire a graduate assistant out of school or a guy who's an assistant receiver coach, and then progressively move up instead of bypass them, give them a chance to call plays and to be the defensive or offensive coordinator. So that's the natural progression to go in. I don't know why that we still have this issue. I'm not saying Rooney Rule, yes, but a better version of it because, there's a lot of qualified minorities and black coaches.
Sure.
And I get the frustration. It's like, wait a minute. Steve Wilkes happened with you guys and Carolina. Damn, Frank Wright comes in. I get the optics, but I don't know how to fix it because it's the guys sitting in the offices. It's like in any company. the people that are doing the hiring, most of them don't look like the people they're hiring. And I mean that as a, it's like in corporate America, a bunch of white guys sitting in there, and then they hire a bunch of white guys until there's an African-American female and sitting on your board, or, African-American or Hispanic, where the diversity and inclusion is involved, where they have a voice, a loud voice to say, wait a second now, Steve Wilkes earned this for, D'Amico Ryan. There's no doubt we need more opportunity, considering we have a number of, obviously, African-American players. I don't understand where the disconnect is. The Rooney Rule should be here, but we need a better version of it. It's not just calling them in for an interview. It's a legitimate, fair, that if they're the best interview and they've got a resume, you have got to give them a chance to do it. Now, I talked to Tony Dungy about this in the past before he got hired when he was in Minnesota. They want to be known as great coaches that they're proud of their heritage, that are black. We don't want to keep saying black head coach, like quarterback. We don't say that anymore. Warren Moon and I talked about that. We just say great quarterback. We don't even, the color doesn't even come into it. They're great players, and they're proud, and they should be. That we're to the point we've gotten past that, and maybe this was going to take year after year, the best in the business. I think the best coach in the NFL, not named Andy Reid, maybe Belichick, and I can put him in a category and say currently, is Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin is very well. If I was a general manager, the first guy I would interview would be Mike Tomlin. So we got to do a better job of the people that are doing the hiring. Make sure that the interviews are legitimate, because we're missing out on a lot of African American and or minority candidates that can lead. And you got to put them in positions to lead, to prove that they can lead, and they will, just like on a football field.
Sean, you were talking about, are those top picks going to affect 5 years down the road versus Sean Payton as a head coach? But you look at these conference championship games, which is interesting. You got top pick quarterbacks every game except for Brock, Mr. Irrelevant, But look at the defensive front seven. So I look at the quarterbacks and both defensive front sevens for all these four teams. Those common denominators, top picks for each front seven, and for the top quarterback pick except for Brock. You look at that and go, wow, there's impactful football with top picks in all the front fours, all the front sevens, and the quarterbacks aside from Brock.
And right now, Brock is playing like a first-round pick. Think about the narrative now. If we were playing this week and Brock Purdy was the 18th player 18th player picked last year in the first round, do you know what they'd be saying? We would be saying the 49ers have a franchise quarterback. If his name right now was Kenny Pickett, if his name was a quarterback that had been drafted in the first round that had different measurables and wasn't the last player picked, with what he's done, they'd say, man, he waited a little bit, unfortunately got the job hurt, but now he's ready. What a great first-round pick. This guy, the franchise is set. But the narrative is because he's the last player picked. Front office people miss on these guys, and they missed on Brock Purdy. Now he's still got more to prove, but he keeps going on the road. He'll win at home. This will be the toughest environment. You're right. All four front sevens, in particular in this game he's playing in, there's not a weakness on either team. Quarterback's playing lights out. Hurts is an MVP guy. Perimeter people are big home run hitters. Both can run the ball. They both get after you defensively, and they don't beat themselves. They're well coached. Coaches on their staffs are going to get head coaching jobs. I mean, everything to like in that game. And the other one, you got star quarterbacks, front seven, home run hitters. I mean, great coaching staff. I don't understand why we don't talk more about Zach Taylor and Cincinnati. Guy's about to be in 2 Super Bowls if he wins in 2 straight years. And his staff, that never gets talked about. So, yeah, it's amazing. But the narrative would shift if Brock was a high pick. But if you love great football and the reason they're here, there's no backing in. The 4 best teams in the NFL, regardless of their seeding, are playing in the Final Four, and we got them. And it is going to be nasty, but you've got it. Build a front seven and find yourself a quarterback, and you can win.
Sean, we're up against it, but I'm just assuming you're going Eagles, Chiefs.
I'm going Cincinnati. I'm going Cincinnati, San Francisco.
Oh,
baby.
Man.
And a boy, Sean.
Oh. All right.
Taking both road teams. D'Amico will have a plan, and Joe Burrow's the best quarterback on the field this weekend.
All right.
That a boy, Sean. Love you, my man.
Yeah.
Supposed to look like a true quarterback.
Have a great weekend. Thank you. Sean Salisbury. Follow him on Twitter at Sean Unfiltered. Sorry we get more time with him to really break those down, but he is driven by All City Towing. All City Towing continues to grow. They are hiring all types of positions, full-time, immediate openings, 401k program with a generous company match, and the fastest way to apply is online. Just go to allcitytowing.com and just search careers. That's allcitytowing.com. And coming up on Learner in Row, one call, that's all. And we're going to take you back early in the week as Jimmy B and Dan Manucci, for some reason, down the road of talking about wieners. Yes, hot dogs. That's next with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Here we go. Steve Covino. Ooh. Rich Davis.
Yes.
This is Covino and Rich.
Right now, I feel like pickleball and slapping are the two things where I'm like, are one of these two things going to break through? In 5-10 years from now, God willing, we're still doing this show. Are we going to be like, yeah, this weekend it's, Slap Mania 38.
Covino and Rich. This afternoon at 4. Listen to Fox Sports 910 anywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
I-10 eastbound near 91st Avenue. There's an accident blocking the HOV lane. Stop and go traffic from 99th Avenue. West side Loop 101 southbound near Northern. Accident on the on-ramp off right. Loop 101 westbound near 19th Avenue. There's a crash blocking up the right lane. And an accident Loop 202 eastbound at Dobson. That's traffic.
This report is sponsored by NewACUnit.com. Need a new AC unit? Then go to NewACUnit.com and save thousands in just 10 minutes. All systems have a 100% money-back guarantee and installed by local AC experts.
Save thousands, save time. Buy online. NewACUnit.com.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. It's the perfect time of year to take your next adventure off-road in a powerful Chevy Silverado. Round up the whole gang for some family fun in a Chevy Equinox. Hey kids, let's go. Or take your night on the town by storm in a stylish Chevy Blazer. Make more memories and take on the road ahead, wherever it leads you. Find new experiences, find new roads. See your Valley Chevy dealers.
Major League Pickleball is coming to Bell Bank Park January 26th through 29th. This pro event will feature professional pickleball teams owned by celebrities who will be in attendance. Come check out the action. Spectator tickets are available at bellbankpark.com/events.
Time to get in on real estate investments. GC Global Capital has financing with no income verification. Call 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker and MLS 1091187. License MB0924983. An equal opportunity employer.
Mass Mutual knows retirement can be an uncomfortable conversation.
Who's the big boy?
You are.
Who's gonna take care of us when we retire?
It's gonna be you.
You're gonna make sure we don't end up in a retirement home.
Or if we do, it's a really nice one.
With tango lessons.
And bocce ball.
And a community pool. Oh.
Talk to us about retirement today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Mass Mutual. Live Mutual.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
It's the Learner in Row. One call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Learner in Row, voted Arizona's best law firm.
So if you get the big wiener and the Hormel chili cheese brew,
absolutely, man.
All right, you know that you're safe because you're already in a recliner.
That's right.
So you're safe.
Home.
You're home. You're in the recliner. You're safe.
And you will satisfy your munchies with a new chili cheese bear with
Guys are hot.
hot dog. So that's this information, Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B.
The big wiener. The big wiener. The big wiener. The big wiener.
Let me drop this on you. Yeah. There you have it, Jimmy B. Earlier this week.
Jimmy B on a roll.
on the program. Yesterday I watched the Yotes game, and I got really disappointed. Yeah, you watch the television, and you see Blues fans in the first 10 to 15 rows around the entire arena. I honestly took a double take thinking that it was a away game. I get it. It's something you got to deal with here. But I think where I think the Yotes are missing is too many uniforms, too many sweaters. Stick to the old one, the original one, and let's try to get our tradition here. I was thinking about that. I'm like, you look the same thing with the D-backs and the Suns. Suns uniforms last night were atrocious.
I don't get the
I don't understand. I know it's money. I understand marketing, but when you're trying to create a tradition, you got to stick to your uniforms. Austin Celtics, New York Jets,
they never waver.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah,
I mean, let's go on and on. Look at these long-time franchises, but the ownership groups here, Cardinals are fine actually, because they're old school. Bill Bidwell. I mean, they're old school. I mean, they've had this franchise forever. But the Diamondbacks, they keep changing uniforms. Go back to your original teal.
I love that.
Yotes, go back to your original. Suns, you're doing a disservice to the fans with the garbage that you're showing right now. Because I got to tell you, you think you're watching Memphis. I mean, you don't even know who you're watching.
I thought it was Charlotte last night.
Or Charlotte, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you have. It's the Phoenix Suns. It's orange. Stick to that.
It's with the new Nike deal and the new city jerseys every year that they make. That's why. It's the money. It's Nike deals.
I get the money stuff, but man, just do it one time.
The teal blue. I know.
Go back to the Yotes. They're a team that does not have an identity.
No,
and
not
if
at all.
you're going to keep doing more jerseys, like they released one a week ago, Arizona.
I
actually like
They're
it.
Nice.
I actually like it.
Yeah.
Then get rid of all the other ones and move on. I literally have 4 different sweaters in my house.
I'm sure you do, Rock.
From the original that, because they kept changing, when they went to Reebok and, and it's just frustrating as hell as I'm watching this game last night. And if you saw a highlight show, NHL Network or ESPN,
you would
have thought that was an away game.
Sure. Yeah.
Because at least when Detroit's here, Chicago here, I mean, we do have fans out there, but they're all wearing different sweaters because we've changed the uniform so many times.
Yeah, was it kind of a brownish? They had the other night was that the one that they had. It was
awful.
I'm like the brown. It looked like it was like blah. It was beige or brown or whatever.
Why not
stick with the Kachina stuff?
Stick with the Kachina and just run with it. Come on. These new owners in these markets that are taking over these teams. So you make a little less money. You'll make more money by everybody being on board.
Yeah, stay with it.
And just stay with it. Yeah, exactly.
Just stay with it. Hey, big weekend. So our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day, which you still go to at Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Who will be playing in the Super Bowl after this weekend's games? Will it be Chiefs 49ers, Chiefs Eagles, Bengals 49ers, or Bengals Eagles? Well, 50% Rock say Bengals 49ers, 12.5 for the Chiefs 49ers and Chiefs Eagles, and 25% Bengals Eagles. So 50% are saying Bengals 49ers at this point.
Well, there you have it. That's the Super Bowl.
There it is. Bengals 49ers right there, Rock.
Sorry, it is Eagles Chiefs, and you and I have a bet that we did yesterday or whenever we did it.
Yesterday.
I have the Eagles, you have the 49ers. Whoever loses has to hand wash on video each other's car.
No problem. I'll have no problem. You can do that big old bucket and that hand washer thing,
I'm so confident that the Eagles are going to win. Confident.
Everybody is, Rock. Everybody's like, yeah, they give the 49ers no chance going to Philly.
Never said that.
Well, the 99.99%.
I really think it's going to come down to 2 quarterbacks, and I think the Eagles have the nod there. I love the story with Brock, and you know my love.
Sure.
I just, I just don't think he's the guy to take him to the Super Bowl.
I hope he is.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to come down to a field goal that Brock leads them down the field in typical Brock Purdy fashion.
That would be
they win this game.
It would be amazing. That story would be just awesome if they did win by a field goal or whatever it is, a point because of a field goal.
Right.
Robbie Gould comes in and does it, and Brock Purdy is the one who took him down. And then, all right, there's number one. All right, now how many more to catch up with Brady? The next Tom Brady.
Oh my God! What did Vince Scully said?
2 minutes.
The impossible just became the improbable just became the impossible, which came the possible when you had the home run hit up by your boy Kurt Gibson in that Dodgers game against the Oakland Athletics. It's going to be a good one, Rock.
Yeah, it's a heck of a weekend.
Slobber knocker football, back to good old knockdown, drag-out football with these two defenses.
By the way, beginning on Monday, we will start our big game challenge, where we will open up certain segments of the show where you'll have an opportunity to predict the score, the exact score of the big game. If you get it right, you're going to get a Talking Stick Resort weekend getaway, which includes 2-night stay at Talking Stick Resort, dinner at Tosh, dinner at Orange Sky, and spa. All of that valued at close to $2,000. We're doing that for our listeners, and we're doing it for our celebrities. So we'll have two lists going at the same time where you got to nail the score.
Are we part of that, Rock? I mean, my goodness, that's nice.
If you recall, we've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
In the past, we did like a $250, $350 steak, like Ruth Chris or something like that. But I talked to the folks at Talking Stick with everything they got going on, with Shaq there and Snoop and Gronk and the SI party and our big deal with Bo Jackson and Doug Flutie. Oh, man, get the tighten that seatbelt. It's going to be a hell of a 2 weeks.
Yeah, just a couple guys named, Doug Flutie and Bo Jackson. They'll be hanging out with us. We won't be hanging out with them. They'll be hanging out with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. That's what's going to be going on.
Looking forward
10.
Miss anything and all that stuff I just mentioned is up on our website at Roc and Manuch. For Ben, Jax, Jimmy B, and Manuch, I'm Rock. Have a great